roads. And we go to lawmaker land in Capital City as we ride the bus to Madison. It could soon cost you $1,000 if you don't stop for those school buses in our state. Lawmakers are looking at a plan that hikes up the fine for not stopping for stopped buses. Right now, the fines range between $30 and $300. Lawmakers want to bump that to between $300 and $1,000. And the new plan would add 3 demerit points against anyone convicted of not stopping for the bus. And if you've been to Titletown, you maybe have seen the fence change. Of course, the original Packer fence has a new message for the new season, as it has every year since 1984 at Fred Harris's house. This year, you'll be driving by a banner that says the new Pack is a love affair. That's what's on the fence. Of course, the Pack and their new quarterback, Jordan Love, start the season officially this Sunday in Chicago, but I don't have to tell you that. You already know. Probably chatting about it with Kasper this morning as well, right? So I'll take you wheels up. Delta Airlines has a list, the new list of the best domestic carriers. Are you planning a trip somewhere?
The Atlanta-based airline ranked number 1 for on-time arrivals, service, and comfort, according to Bounce's 2023 Airline Index. Southwest Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines place 2nd and 3rd, with Alaska Airlines and United rounding out the top 5. Other factors used in the annual airline comparison included in-flight entertainment, meals, and seat comfort. American Airlines, JetBlue Airways, Spirit Airlines, Frontier Airlines, and Allegiant Air also made Bounce's top 10 list of domestic airlines for 2023. I'm Mark Mayfield.
You know, we were looking at a list of kind of revamping the studio, getting some new furniture, that kind of thing. And Casper's been squirrely and squirming around all day. I said, what's the problem? His number one concern:
meals and seat comfort.
For Sports Talk 105.1, I'm Morgan McCarthy.
We're at the tail end of this heat wave, but we still have another day in the 90s with heat advisories still in place towards our southern counties. We'll have some more clouds keeping us on the lower end of the 90 for today. Still some peaks of sunshine before showers and storms head our way later this afternoon and evening, some of which could be on the stronger side. That takes us into tomorrow with highs much cooler, feeling like fall, only climbing to the upper 60s with some scattered showers and storms. I'm Skywarn 13 meteorologist Mike D'Andrea.
Wake up and smell the magic that is Cabin Coffee in Altoona. From the moment you step in, you're embraced by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the warmth of community. Their skilled baristas handcraft each cup with love, ensuring every sip is an experience worth savoring. Even if you're not a coffee person, they still have something for you. Embrace the comfort of a cabin getaway right in your favorite coffee shop. Visit Cabin Coffee today at 2922 Meadowlark Lane in Altoona. Elevate your coffee experience at Cabin Coffee.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to the Dan Kasper Show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the show that features serious, thought-provoking sports talk and insightful sports commentary.
You knew it.
In other words, it's the show where they all talk a crap load about sports.
Let's go for it.
Now let's introduce your host, a man who lives and breathes and has a passion for sports. A man who breaks everything down in the sports world and gives you everything you need to know. Plus a bunch of stuff you probably don't need, but you'll still enjoy it.
You can't handle the truth.
Here is your host, Dan Kasper.
Prime time. Prime time.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning and happy Tuesday, September 5th. Dan Kasper Show's on the air. Radio dials, couple of those, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Also available online, sportstalk1051.com. Stream it up over there. You got your Google and Alexa home devices. The app. Video stream also up and rolling on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Hopefully you had a good Labor Day weekend if you were able to take advantage of it and maybe have the day off or such. But hopefully you're ready to hit up another week here. Football week, kickoff week for the NFL. finally here. No more talking preseason. No more talking training camp or practice or this, that, whatever. Now things get decided on the field of play. First game Thursday night, Chiefs Lions kicking off the season. And of course, we know Green Bay kicking off against Chicago on the road on Sunday. So we're going to start to kind of preview the season at hands coming up here. And if you remember late last week, I gave you all some Labor Day weekend homework to think about here a little bit. So obviously we know what the big thing is that everybody's going to be watching for when it comes to the green and gold season here. It's going to be number 10, Jordan Love and such. A lot of speculation and analysis and thoughts on the type of player he's going to be. Well, now we'll finally see it, get a glimpse of it right away this weekend against Chicago and such. So the question, again, refresh it to all of you that I threw out there a few days ago. What is that bar? What's kind of the bar that you're setting? What's I guess, do you just, I don't want to say, base minimum. So I'm kind of just throwing out there, like, what is that bar that you kind of have set for Love, where you think it'll be a solid season from him? I mean, you could throw out a stat line if you want. You could throw out wins and losses and that sort of thing. So, where is that bar? What do you expect from Jordan Love, or what do you want to see from Jordan Love this year? I'm kind of leaving it a little bit of an open-ended question, because I mean, you're going to get different responses from all across the board, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Some are going to be more about the wins and losses. Some are going to, maybe look at a stat line. Some are going to be like, you know what, just want to see something that's going to give us confidence for the future. But you have to think about it here a little bit. Where are those expectations for you for Love this year? Did they kind of rise maybe a little bit after what you saw in the preseason, what you saw in training camp? Maybe a little bit more positive. Maybe you kind of, oh man, Dan Orlovsky and some of these other national guys, Rich Eisen and such, they think a lot about Jordan Love after what they saw in the preseason. So you know what? Maybe I should kind of change my tune a little bit, or change my attitude towards it, and maybe my expectations are a little bit higher for this season. So are you one that maybe a few months ago you weren't high on the Jordan Love era, but are you starting to drink the Kool-Aid? And maybe that's the way to phrase it. What would get you to drink the Jordan Love Kool-Aid? What would get you to drink the Jordan Love Kool-Aid? And maybe I'm kind of going back to 2008 when I say that, because I was at the first game for Rodgers starting against the Vikings, the opener. It was a Monday night game. First Monday night game, that one. College had just started, but I think I had to skip a class already to go to the game. I originally bought tickets because that was supposed to be Favre's retirement nights. I mean, the ticket stub had Favre's picture on there, and well, we know how that all played out. But nonetheless, I was there with went down with some buddies and such, and after the game, I'm like, because I wasn't the biggest Rodgers fan at the beginning, and I was completely wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong. I was skeptical of Rodgers for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm drinking a little bit of the Kool-Aid. And then flash forward, I was at that final game where Green Bay won. Detroit went winless. Green Bay wasn't going to the playoffs, 6-10, but you saw something from Rodgers throughout that season. Like, okay. And I remember turning to a different buddy of mine at that game. I'm like, yep, I'm thinking I'm drinking the Kool-Aid now. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. So maybe that's the question. What would get you? What do you want to see from Love that will get you to drink the Jordan Love Kool-Aid? All right. So you can start to hit me up with some texts on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, 715-830-1912. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, video stream, all that good stuff. We'll hit that up. Speaking of football, I know it's already been a few days here, but the Badgers kicking it off with a win against Buffalo. Week 1 started off a little slow, and could definitely tell it's football season. Go on to social media like Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and see the influx of posts and people kind of freaking out and all that good stuff right away. So you definitely know it's football season. But it started off a little slow. I don't think that's a hot take or anything like that. But they do get the victory against Buffalo. Now they've got Washington State coming up this Saturday. So we'll catch up with RJ Cardinal, Badger analyst from the Zone in Madison. Get his thoughts on that Week 1 victory against Buffalo and look ahead to this Week 2 matchup against Washington State. Obviously, in the college football world last night, you had Duke upsetting Clemson. How about that? Yeah. Then you had Florida State beating up on LSU. Both teams were highly ranked, but I think a lot of people were surprised in how Florida State won that game. And then Neon Dion, primetime himself, going into TCU, picking up a win. First game as head coach at Colorado. Maybe turn some heads. Hey, I was impressed. Well done, man. That was impressive. So there you go. Those are probably some of the biggest storylines, right? From Week 1 now in the books. But we'll catch up on all things college football. But going back a few days since we were off yesterday, going back to Saturday. If you want to give me your first impressions, because it is just 1 week, it is just one game in there, but kind of your impressions, what stood out, some positives, some negatives, that sort of thing from the game against Buffalo. And keep in mind, it is just 1 week. It is just it's just the first game of the regular season. So hopefully we're not ready to, even after a win, hopefully we're not ready to push the panic button or overly criticize or anything like that. But give me your positives, give me your negatives. What stood out to you in that Week 1 win against Buffalo under the new Luke Fickell era for Badger football? So you can start to hit me up with those. We've got plenty of baseball chat to catch up on. Brewers just have 25 games left in the regular season. That's it. 25 games left. And things are still close. Things are still incredibly tight in the NL Central right now. Brewers are up 2.5 games over the Cubs, 5.5 games over the Cincinnati Reds. Brewers dropping game 1 against Pittsburgh last night. They did take 2 out of 3 against Philadelphia at home this past weekend, but dropping that game last night with Corbin Burns on the mound 4-2. Cubs and Reds both won. So things are still tight here with just 25 games left to go in the regular season. So we'll preview tonight's matchup. Brandon Woodruff's going to be on the mound for the Crew going up against Pittsburgh. And how about those Twins? I mean, holy moly. They're putting on an offensive clinic last night. 20 runs, 20-6 victory over the Cleveland Guardians, increasing their lead in the division over Cleveland by 6 games. But this kid, Royce Lewis, another grand slam. Another grand slam for this guy. 3 grand slams in the last 8 games. Jeez Louise. Send some of that luck over here across the border, Twins, with your offensive firepower. 20 runs last night. Royce Lewis, man, oh man, I know we do studs and duds on Mondays, but I tell you what, Royce Lewis would be a stud with the way he's been playing and the offensive output he's been putting out there for the Twins right now. So things starting to get a little bit closer in the NL Central right now. You're looking at the schedule. You got the Cubs taking on the Giants right now, and obviously Brewers taking on Pittsburgh. And then after this series, it's going to be a long stretch of games. Brewers will have an off day on Thursday, the 7th there. But their next off day is not going to be the 25th. going to be nothing but back-to-back games, which includes the Yankees, Miami, Washington, Cardinals, and Miami again. It's going to be a long stretch coming up here for the crew. So, baseball talk, we'll get to that as well. It is Tuesday, Grind My Gears Tuesday. So what is grinding your gears? Get it off your chest. This is the only day you can do so, although that's kind of a loose rule, obviously. But now's the time to send those puppies on over. 715-830-1912 on that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line. All right, what's grinding your gears here? So let's get things going here this morning. Or speaking of college football too, I got to go rewind it here a little bit. I know I mentioned the Badgers and such, but shout out Blue Gold's new era. Head coach Rob Erickson, his team picking up the win Saturday at Carson Park. What an entertaining game that was. Field goal with just a few seconds left to go. And the Blue Golds picking up a win in Coach Erickson's first game. So shout out to the Blue Golds defeating Concordia Moorhead 31-28. Very entertaining game. If you were following along, or maybe you were at Carson Park on Saturday. That's sweltering heat, but they're going to be on the road. Going to be going on the road for this Saturday too. So, but shout out to the Blue Gold football team picking up a win back on Saturday over there too. So, but hey, let's get things going here this morning. We'll get the lead off. We'll let you kind of dictate the conversation here on how things are going to roll here. But we got a few messages already popping in on that texting line about good old Jordan Love. But we are just a couple of days away from kickoff for the NFL season. We finally get to kind of start to preview a game coming up here, game that matters, Packers, Bears. Packers going to be starting off their season on the road here. But for Jordan Love, what would make you kind of drink the Kool-Aid? Maybe some of you have already. I think Surveyor Sam, I don't think this is far-fetched out there. He's drinking the Kool-Aid already. But if you were kind of already on the outside or not ready to drink that Kool-Aid, what would get you to drink the Kool-Aid of Jordan Love this year? What is that bar? Where are you set? All off season we've been, everybody's had their thoughts, and in preseason and training camp, you've had people maybe kind of changing their thoughts on Love from what they've seen or heard in training camp and seen in these preseason games. Has your mindset changed from what you saw from Jordan Love this year? Maybe if you were kind of a non-believer, has that started to ease off a little bit? Has it changed a little bit? And give me some predictions. What do you think Jordan Love is going to do this year? We don't know, obviously. We've got, games will start up here. But if you had to make a prediction, because we're all about making predictions, right? If you had to make a prediction on how you think Jordan Love's going to do this year, what would it be? Maybe give me a good, bold prediction out there too, okay? I'd like a really good, bold prediction. So, all right, let's get things going here on this Tuesday morning. Lots to catch up on. We'll take that first break, and then the leadoff coming up in just a couple minutes.
Got a take on today's topics but can't call in? Then hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or the text line and let your fingers do the talking.
ServiceMaster of Chippewa Valley is your local expert when it comes to fire and water damage, carpet and air duct cleaning, mold remediation, and trauma. They're when you need them, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Trust comes in the yellow truck. Learn more at ServiceMasterChippewaValley.com.
Carpet City Flooring Center did it again, people. Some of the magic that they are able to do is pretty impressive. So, quick backstory. We had a couple of bedrooms that needed some new carpet pretty badly. We went to Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire, and they helped us pick an awesome looking and feeling carpet. And a couple weeks later, installed the new carpet in our rooms. Now the bedrooms in our house look and feel completely different. In a good way. The instant you walk into these rooms, you are in a better mood. My 6-year-old is even spending more time in his room because of the carpet. He tells everyone he has a brand new bedroom now. So if you are in the need of a new floor for your home or office, why would you look anywhere else besides Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire? Trick question. You shouldn't be. So go visit our good friends Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today at 3109 East Hamilton Avenue in Eau Claire. The team at Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire will help you find that new floor that looks good in your home and works perfect within your budget.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union, the local Wisconsin team that's always rooting for you. Your favorite catcher makes his Brewers bobblehead debut as fans can take home a William Contreras bobblehead on Saturday, September 16th. Given to the first 30,000 ticketed fans through the gates, courtesy of Meyer. Get your tickets at brewers.com. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today.
If Culligan isn't treating your home's water, you likely have water problems all around you, like hard-to-clean chalky residue on your shower, faucets, and bath, stains around your sink drains, spots on your dishes and glassware, plus dull, dried-out hair and skin, and problems you don't see, like scaly buildup in the water heater and pipes. But have no fear, you're in the clear with Culligan Products and Service. For all your residential and commercial water filtration needs,
visit CulliganH2O.com for your local Culligan water dealer.
Get ready and save half with half-off deals. It's a great way for you to get goods and services that you will love, and you don't have to pay full price. Start saving this Friday, September 8th, with the Chippewa Valley YMCA single and family memberships. Be ready with your credit or debit card and get ready to save with this week's half-off deals. For more details and to find out about all the savings, just go to aroundthe715.com.
Ready to ride?
Just let me get my flip-flops on.
Whoa, Mom and Dad are going for a ride without their protective gear.
Quick, grab the checklist. I'll grab the gear.
Where do you two think you're going without your safety gear?
Yeah, you know how we feel about riding without your gear.
Well, it's so nice out.
And we're only going for a short ride.
Not before you put all this gear on, you're not.
But,
riding pants?
Okay.
Check.
Motorcycle boots?
Bye-bye flip-flops.
Check.
Armored jackets?
Nice.
Check.
Riding gloves?
2 pairs.
Check.
Last but not least, full face helmets.
Check.
Now you're ready to ride.
And you look cool.
All the gear, all the time. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov.
Be home on time for dinner.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Want the latest insight and analysis on your favorite green and gold football team? Check out the Green and Gold Chalk Talk video series hosted by Dan Kasper with new episodes each week on YouTube.
This Thursday, just 2 days away, we'll be over at Hy-Vee for a special kickoff show, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So stop on by or tune in on the radio dial. That's 105.1 FM, 790 AM, or online too. You can stream it. Your Google and Alexa home devices over there too. So stop on by. We'll be there from 4p to 6p with a little kickoff special talk and some football and such. So maybe stop by and get some. They're going to be doing some wing specials and such over there. Or two, I just got word yesterday. So if you're in the mood for doing some, maybe some grilling or smoking. So we know about Hy-Vee's meat department over there. But now they got gator. Yeah, they got gator over there. Some alligator. That's what I'm talking about over there. I've never tried it. I've never tried alligator before, but I'm kind of curious to do this. I might have to try this up and maybe put it in a smoker or such. But hey, go over there and maybe pick some up and put it on your smoker, maybe for this weekend for a little football. I don't know, but they've got that available now in their meat department there too. So we'll see you Thursday, 4 p.m., starting at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for our special kickoff show that night ahead of the Lions and Chiefs game. And don't forget, too, since we are just a couple of days away, get in on our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge that's available at our website, sportstalk1051.com. It's free, it's easy, and you can win some prizes, including gift card to Shields up on there too. So all you got to do is go to sportstalk1051.com, click on the win tab, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the little icon there, and you can start to make your picks right now. I just made my picks earlier this morning for week 1. So that way I wouldn't forget about them. And I can tell you, there's some good games on the docket for week 1. I think there's some good games. Kind of some of them made me think and probably overthink it a little bit there. But got a lot of stuff going on. Football season officially in full swing. And that's where we're going to lead things off here this morning on the lead off. So the question I threw out a few of them. But each day we're going to kind of hit on a topic when it surrounds the green and gold here, leading up to kickoff and such, and we'll do the full on season predictions and all that good stuff on Friday because it'll be a football Friday. But all off season, all training camp and preseason, one player has been at the focal point of the conversation. Not only for fans, for Packers fans, but local, national media. It's kind of been like ups and downs and maybe even a change in the wave of how people view him. It's, of course, one Jordan Love, who a new era will be ushering in officially this Sunday against the Chicago Bears. And if you haven't, this was a really cool piece by Bill Huber, who covers the Packers. He's covered the Packers for a long time. SI.com, Packer Central there. But Bill put up a piece where he actually talked to one Aaron Charles Rodgers heading into Jordan Love's first career start. And I think that was really cool of Aaron to do that, to, do an interview. One, obviously he's very familiar with the Green Bay media, but one, he's with a different team. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to do an interview, but to talk about Jordan Love and kind of give his thoughts and his, inside opinion and on how Love's going to do and what he should do and that sort of just kind of be his own person and it's a really cool piece. If you want to check it out, I had retweeted it a couple days ago, but again, it's Bill Huber, SI.com, and just, Aaron Rodgers kind of gives some advice to Love and such. And I just thought it was really cool that Rodgers went out and did that and such. So, but you could go check it out. I know it's a couple days old, and maybe many of you have already able to check it out and such. But so a couple questions that I had thrown out there for you all, and I'm really, really curious to get your thoughts, and I really want you to either hit me up with a text or comment on the video stream or Facebook, Twitter. Hit me up on Twitter at DANKASPER. But one, what would make you, or what would get you is probably the best way to phrase it. What would get you to officially drink the Jordan Love Kool-Aid? And not, there's no right or wrong answer to. Some of you already are. Some of you already are sipping on that thing and you're drinking it. Some maybe, do this, and I'll start drinking. Some you may have higher expectations. It's Titletown. It's Green Bay. You're replacing Rodgers. So, I mean, those expectations are going to be high. Everybody's going to be different. And I'm genuinely curious to see where each and every one of you are at this point. And how high do you have that bar for Jordan Love this year? For year one for him, he's what? This is his 4th year in the league. But how high do you have that bar for Jordan this year? And maybe you're factoring in the makeup of the team right now. You know, you look at the defense, high expectations for the defense, right? A lot invested on there. You got some veterans and such. And you look at the offense, very young wide receivers, tight ends, but you still have Aaron Jones, a veteran running back. Like, where do you have that bar set for Jordan Love in his first year? Do you have it set fairly high because maybe you are a believer in the talent that's around him, that this can still be a playoff team? Or do you have it fairly low because you just don't know what to expect and you don't want to set it so high that you're going to be disappointed this year? There's multiple different reasons. And I'm really curious to see where Packers fans are at this point, Tuesday before kickoff, after seeing preseason, after hearing or seeing training camp and hearing all the stuff written and talked about and maybe seeing it for your own eyes. I'm very curious to see where everybody's at this point. And I know it's tough at times to maybe take away the fanism part of it. It's kind of hard to do that. It's hard for me to do that, especially so close to kickoff. It's like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna, you know, making picks. I was making picks this morning for games, and it's like, ooh, what do I do for Green Bay, Chicago? 17-0. You know, just sometimes you just get so pumped up for the season. It's kind of hard to maybe keep those green and gold glasses off a little bit. Hey, I'm the same way at times. I really am. I guess for me, now I threw out a few questions for you all. So I guess for me to get to drink the Kool-Aid of Jordan Love, it's not necessarily going to be the stats. It's not going to be like, well, if he hits, 27 touchdown passes and has 12 interceptions and throws for 4,000 yards, that's going to get me to drink the Kool-Aid. Because stats don't tell the story. I don't want to do the whole box score scouting sort of thing. That's not going to get me to drink the Kool-Aid. Obviously, a bunch of wins would that would probably do a lot. But and it's kind of a blanket statement. I don't think you can necessarily put numbers attached to it, but I think we can all just tell. Maybe it's going to be halfway through the season. Maybe it's going to be at the end of the season, or maybe we'll be able to tell in the first few weeks. But it's just like that. I think it's almost like a gut feeling. And I think a lot of us are going to be able to tell once games start here and we get some games in, we're going to be able to tell, like, oh yeah, that guy's, he could play quarterback. He could be a starter in this league for a few years. And for maybe on the flip side, you might be able to tell, like, yeah, it sure ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. And really, even after this year, we may not even know the full scope of what Jordan Love is going to be like. Because raise your hand, after 2008, did you think Aaron Rodgers was going to go on and win 4 MVPs? You were hoping Super Bowl championship, maybe a couple, but I don't think anybody, even after 2008, thought, okay, this is a guy that, he's going to set quarterback rating records. He's going to, the bar is going to be set so high that we're going to be disappointed if he doesn't hit 40 touchdown passes and has more than 5 interceptions in a season. Even after 2008, I didn't have that, and I'd be shocked if I heard a lot of people having those expectations. So even after a year, we may not know the full scope of the type of player that Love is going to be. But I think, for the most part, when we get to this, what would get me to drink the Kool-Aid it's more of just a feeling and a gut, and just using your eyes and seeing, okay, just seeing how he plays on the field, not stats, not putting up numbers or anything like that. But it's just like, okay, you get to maybe halfway through or 3/4 of the season, or maybe towards the end, it's like, all right, there were some ups and downs, which is to be expected first year as a starter. But overall, he just feel good. Or maybe it's like, no, I don't feel good about this at all. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't look like command and all that. But I don't know. I don't have that feeling. I don't know if you can really necessarily put a number on there. I don't know if we can put, well, if he hits 27 touchdown passes and 12 interceptions, that's I'm feeling good. There's more to tell after that. There's so much more pages to be written after that. That doesn't tell the whole story just based off those numbers. So what would get me to drink that Kool-Aid is mostly just I want to see how the games are played out. Even like the wins and losses. Again, I'll keep going back to 08. 6-10 record for Rodgers that year. Was that all Rodgers? Heck no. How many of those games? I can think of a couple. Houston, Carolina, right off the top of my head in that season. Green Bay had the lead, but it was the defense that stunk it up and lost those leads right at the end of the games. So I don't even know how much, wins and losses will determine this. Now, obviously it could be because of, some of those could be decided on how Jordan Love plays and such, but to me, it's going to be more of like putting on that scouting cap, I think, and going with the gut and just seeing it for our own eyes. Like, all right, feeling good, or nah, I'm not. I in terms of the expectations, this is hard. Heading into this season for Love, like, what are my realistic expectations? And something, a lot of people, whether it's been at a golf outing or running the store and, buddies texting or whatever, like, well, okay, so what do you think, Green Bay's going to do? How do you think the NFC North is going to play out this year? And I'll get my prediction on Friday, but this team is so hard for me to kind of gauge, because top end, could I see them winning 10 games? If the wild card in this whole thing is that defense. Like, if that defense is a top 5 unit, yeah, I can. But I don't know. I gotta see this defense actually go and play some meaningful games and go out there and dominate these games. I mean, they've invested so much into it with first round picks and signings and contract extensions and all that, but put up or shut up. I mean, just because you are a player that's getting paid a lot or you are a first round pick don't mean crap if you can't go out there and perform and play good football. But if that defense goes out there and plays and maybe takes some of that pressure off, can I see them maybe winning 9, 10 games? Yeah, but can I see this team winning 6, 7 games? Absolutely. I mean, there's a wide range in this thing, and that to me gives me that unknown, and that uncertainty is a little bit of exciting in it too. But I think for me, the expectation level or where I've got it, because I'm just focusing on Love here for today. We'll get to the team and that later on this week, because we got a few days to preview this thing. But my expectation for Jordan Love this year, I think it's got to be, I don't want to say sky high. It's not like a Patrick Mahomes expectation or even an Aaron Rodgers expectation with the Jets. But I think the expectations still got to, I mean, there's got to be something there. It's got to be kind of high. It can't be just like 0 and you're not expecting anything and just like, okay, get through this year and gain some experience. I think it's got to be fairly high, because this has also got to be a year to prove that this guy is going to be the long-term starter. I mean, there is some pressure. There are some high expectations in a sense that Love's got to go out there and prove he can be a long-term starter, prove that he can be a starting NFL quarterback, prove that he can lead, give some implications that he can go out there and be a leader for a championship, hopefully a championship caliber team in the near future. So I don't want to say there isn't any expectations for Love, because there isn't. I mean, well, because that's not true. There has to be. And it could be for various reasons, but for me, I think there's got to be some fairly high expectations for Love, and not necessarily Super Bowl expectations, but just expectations to go out there and prove that you are a top starting quarterback in this league. To prove that you can be the long-term starter. To prove to Green Bay that, oh God, Green Bay did it again and found another starting quarterback. And just kind of annoy some of those, maybe other fan bases or those other teams. Is like, geez Louise, they found another starting quarterback. We're still trying to find our starting quarterback from the early 90s, and this team's gotten 3. Now, they've only gotten a couple Super Bowls, which is a little underachieving there, but geez, they got another one. That, to me, is the expectation for Love this year, is to go out there and show, prove, play at that level that, all right, he's the long-term starter. That's the expectation I have for him this year. I'm not, and I'll tell you, I'm not, and it kind of bugs me to say this. I mean, I want a Super Bowl championship, but I don't have that expectation this year. It's been a long time since I've said that, to be honest with you. I mean, because I had the mindset that whenever 12 suited up, whenever 12 was a starter, as long as Aaron Rodgers is a starter, the expectation should and will always be Super Bowl. I don't have that this year for this team. Now, I would love nothing more when it comes to February and we're talking about Green Bay in a Super Bowl, or talking about Green Bay winning a Super Bowl. I would be the most ecstatic person out there. But heading into the season, I don't have that expectation. And a lot of that is directly related to Love. I don't want to put that expectation on him right away because I don't know what to expect from the guy yet. I think the expectation for him has to be to go out there and to prove that he is a starting quarterback in the NFL, a good starting quarterback in the NFL, one where we don't have to go into the draft in 2024, maybe looking at a quarterback, or gosh forbid in 2025 when that draft is in Green Bay is looking for a quarterback. That's the expectation I have for Love this year. All right, we got to take a quick break. Already closing up the first hour here. We'll get some texts. We'll get back to some football talk, but we also got some baseball chat to hit up as well. Season's starting to wrap up.
180! 180! 180!
The Dan Kasper Show will be right back.
Are you tired of living with constant pain? Well, it's time to take control of your well-being and experience the healing touch of Shepke Chiropractic. Whether you're struggling with back pain, headaches, or even stress, Shepke Chiropractic is here to listen, understand, and provide effective solutions tailored to your unique needs. They believe in treating the root cause, not just the symptoms, so you can experience lasting relief and improved quality of life. Their welcoming environment and compassionate care ensure that you're treated like family. They're not just focused on your spine. They're focused on your overall well-being. Don't let pain dictate your life any longer. Take the first steps towards a healthier, happier you by scheduling a consultation with Shepke Chiropractic today. And to make things easier for you, they have 2 locations to help better serve you. Rediscover the joy of pain-free living with Shepke Chiropractic. Visit ShepkeChiropractic.com for more information and to schedule your appointment. Your journey to a healthier, more fulfilling life starts here.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went, and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Wow. What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking, guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Saturday, September 30th at the Best Western Plus Eau Claire Conference Center in Eau Claire at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Ready to ride?
Just let me get my flip-flops on.
Whoa, Mom and Dad are going for a ride without their protective gear.
Quick, grab the checklist. I'll grab the gear.
Where do you two think you're going without your safety gear?
Yeah, you know how we feel about riding without your gear.
Well, it's so nice out.
And we're only going for a short ride.
Not before you put all this gear on, you're not.
But
riding pants?
Okay. Check.
Motorcycle boots?
Bye-bye, flip-flops.
Check.
Armored jackets?
Nice.
Check.
Riding gloves?
2 pairs.
Check.
Last but not least, full face helmets.
Check.
Now you're ready to ride.
And you look cool.
All the gear, all the time. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov.
Be home on time for dinner.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
By about next March, you probably are getting sick of winter. I've got a solution. Come on along with me on a farm tour to Costa Rica and Panama with agricultural highlights. It's March 23rd through April 1st as we explore those two Central American countries. Coffee estate, go to a local farm in Costa Rica. We'll also sail through. We'll go to the Arenal Volcano National Park and so much more. Visit holidayvacations.com. Keyword is wax for more information and to watch a travel show or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
The reviews are in. It's the best thing I have ever tasted in my life. This is the best thing that's happened in my life, even better than my wedding. That's what everyone has to say about Man Cave Light, the official beer of the Dan Kasper Show and the Man Cave podcast. Try it for yourself and you'll know exactly why people say it's like sipping a little bit of heaven. Man Cave Light is available on tap at the bar in Hy-Vee. You can also grab a crawler or 6 and take some Man Cave Light home with you. So go try your new favorite beer, Man Cave Light, today, and you will know exactly why one reviewer said, I cry tears of joy every time I have one.
The Shoe Doctor is known for quality footwear. Remember, the Shoe Doctor can keep your feet comfortable during all the different outdoor weather and activities here in the Chippewa Valley. Work boots, casual shoes, sandals, and more from brands you trust like Keen, Merrill, Chaco, and Dansko, and that's just to name a few. Located on Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire, you can also visit them online at shoedoctorfootwear.com. The Shoe Doctor, quality footwear for work, sport, and fun.
Sports. You love it. We love it. And quite frankly, I don't trust anyone who doesn't love it. Do you?
Is that a serious question?
The Dan Kasper Show.
Do you believe that everyone deserves a safe and decent place to call home? Well, at Chippewa Valley Habitat for Humanity, they share this belief and work tirelessly to make it a reality. Chippewa Valley Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit organization dedicated to building homes and communities for families in need. With the help of generous donors, dedicated volunteers, and partnerships with local communities, they're able to bring hope and stability to those who need it most. Imagine the joy on a family's face as they step foot into their new home, a home that they've worked alongside volunteers to build. It's a life-changing moment that fills hearts with gratitude and hope for a brighter future. But they need your help. Whether you can spare your time, donate funds, or offer your skills, every contribution counts. Together, they can make a lasting impact. Be a part of something greater than yourself. Visit cvh4h.org or stop by the Chippewa Valley Habitat for Humanity Restore to learn more. Together, let's build homes, build hope, and build a better future for families in need, because everyone deserves a place to call home. All right, we'll get back to some green and gold chat here in just a little bit, but to close up the first hour here, Brew Crew, 25 games left in the regular season here. They dropped the series opener yesterday against the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are in like spoiler mode right now after the Pirates for like half the season were kind of, at the top of the rankings here, or top of the standings, I should say, and maybe making a push to get to the postseason. But second half definitely has not been kind for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're 10 games under 500 and now fully in that spoiler role right now, especially when they're going up against division opponents. And that's exactly what they did last night, 4-2. Corbin Burns picking up his 8th loss of the season, still looking for that 10th win. It's been a while. I know we highlighted that last week, but it's been a while since Corbin Burns has gotten a win on his resume here. But the Brewer Crew will try again tonight. Brewers still 15 games over 500, 76 and 61. Still holding on to a 2.5 game lead over the Cubbies for first place in the division. Cincinnati still not out of it either. They're 5.5 back from the Brewers for first place in the division. So not fully out of it, but even when you look at wild card standings right now, you got Cubs that are in the second spot right now. Cincinnati is literally just on the outside. So Arizona right now is 71 and 67. Cincinnati is 72 and 68, both with a 514 win percentage. Arizona right now holding on to the slightest advantages here too. So even though Cincinnati is 5.5 out from first place in the NL Central, they're right in it for that wild card. And Miami is just a half game out. San Francisco is a game out. I mean, San Francisco is going up against the Cubbies. So come on, Giants, you got to help us out here. You got to take some games against the Cubs and knock them out of the postseason and knock them down a little bit further in the standings here, so they stop threatening us for first place right now. But we'll see. Brandon Woodruff going to get to start. He's looking for his 4th win of the season. Obviously, a lot of experience with some of these players, including going up against Reynolds. Reynolds, 16 at-bats, is a lifetime 125 against him. Hayes, 19 at-bats, 211. McCutchen, 14 at-bats, has struggled against Woodruff, just 0-7-1. So hopefully Brandon Woodruff, can continue his good stretch here ever since returning to the lineup here. His last outing was against the Cubs, was a no decision, 6 innings, just 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and a start before that back on the 25th, 6 innings, 1 earned run, struck out 11. So hopefully Woody can continue his fantastic stretch here, but the offense has got to help him out and give him some run support, for crying out loud here too. So let's go. Let's get back to when you were on that winning streak, putting up some runs there. You kind of thought, okay, maybe were they starting to get that momentum and starting to, ride that into the postseason, final month here of the regular season, and offense is clicking, and now it's kind of been a little quiet, a little up and down here. So, but get it done tonight, Brewers. Get it done. First pitch at 5:35. You can catch that 105.1 FM and 790 AM. A reminder, too, then tomorrow they got a day game, then an off day Thursday, and then just a long stretch of back-to-back games. Their next off day, besides Thursday, it's going to be on the 25th. And that's games against the Yankees on the road in New York, Miami, 4 games in Milwaukee, Washington, 3 games in Milwaukee. Then they're back on the road against St. Louis for 4 games, who, they would love nothing more to play spoiler, too. And then 3 games on the road against Miami. Miami, as we said, fighting for a wild card spot here too. And Miami's won 4 in a row right now, 4-game winning streak. They're riding here. So, and then as we mentioned a little bit earlier here too, Minnesota putting up 20 runs last night. Royce, dude, has got 3 grand slams in his last 8 games. That's insane. That's insane that this kid is going out there and doing this thing. But Twins, with that win against Cleveland last night, increased their division lead over the Guardians by 6 games. and not a whole lot has changed in terms of the AL here. Toronto moving up a little bit closer to a wild card spot. They're just a half game behind Texas, who's holding on to that final wild card spot. So we'll get back to some more baseball talk coming up here a little bit later on. Just got a couple minutes to the top of the hour here. We're going to get to some Badger chat and some college football chat as well. Badgers, RJ Cardinal is going to be joining us at about 8:20 this morning, recapping the week 1 victory against Buffalo, looking ahead to week 2 against Washington State. So we'll catch up with RJ on that about 8:20 this morning. We'll finish up the first hour, though, with Morgan. Good morning, Morgan.
Turtle Power. You have your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt on.
Yep.
Does that remind you of going back to school? Did you have anything Turtles when you were like new folders, new notebooks, new backpacks, any of that stuff?
Kindergarten was my
Yeah,
year for
that was your year?
Yep.
Did you have a first day of school memory?
Not really.
What about Hudson? Is he excited?
No.
No?
No.
He doesn't like going? Doesn't want to go?
He works himself up. He gets too nervous.
Uh-huh.
But he'll be fine.
He'll be
after
fine
that.
once he gets
Dad's
there.
more nervous right now. So.
Oh, yeah. I definitely know that feeling. So we're going to do a little quick hit answer with you, but there's no pop quiz. Just in honor of back to school, we're going to give you some easy questions to answer. What was the last TV show you binged watched?
Can I say one that I'm doing now? Or do I have to have completed
Let's do both. Was your last one Yellowstone? Because you were trying to get everybody on the Yellowstone train.
Oh man, the one that I just finished binging. That's a tough one. Because Hudson is like binge watching the shows from when we were kids.
What's he on?
Well, he binge watched Full House.
Oh yeah.
Step by Step.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing Family Matters right
What's
now.
his favorite of the three?
I think Full House.
So he loves Full House.
Yeah.
Yeah. And watching that back, it was like walking through my own childhood again.
Yep.
So I can get on board with that.
Yeah. So
cut it
maybe
out.
because I'm watching it with him, it'd probably be one of those.
Okay. So
but
then
the one that I'm doing now,
yeah, let's hear.
Peaky Blinders.
You are. Okay.
Yep.
4 episodes in. That's as far as I got.
Oh, I finished season 1 over the weekend.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell me what you like about it.
I like British shows.
Oh, okay. So that is very British. So
Yeah.
that pretty much explains it. You kind of have to know that going in
and it's
to get the general vibe.
Like a historical thing too.
Yeah, it does kind of ride that historical line a little bit. All right. What was the last app you used on your phone?
Onyx.
What's that?
It's a hunting app that tells you property lines and has my tree stands on there.
Okay, what do you use the most? What app on your phone do you use the most? I use Trivia Crack the most.
Are we counting Facebook and Twitter on there?
Oh,
or can
God.
we take those
Let's
off?
take them off the table.
Then if I'm taking those off the table, it probably is Onyx.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the
Because I'll
hunting app.
creep on like property owners and all that stuff.
Now, when our temperatures get back to more tolerable tomorrow, do you start? Whoa, I'm tearing the studio apart. Do you start thinking about hunting and getting out in the stand already, or is it still too early for you?
No, I mean I've been thinking about it for a while. I was up there Sunday
Okay.
putting together a tree stand. So
And are you a heat hater? Like, is today the worst? Do you just need to get through it and come
Yep.
out the other side?
I'm ready for fall.
How many people in your house are cranky because of the heat right now?
I wouldn't say cranky.
Oh, really?
No.
Because Siggy, she definitely does not like it, and
Oh.
she gets a little cranky in attitude
No,
about
he
it.
he had the splash pad out and everything yesterday.
Do the
so-
sprinkler and hose action.
Mhm.
All right. What
Yep.
would you consider yourself more of an extrovert or introvert?
Introvert.
By all natures, or just like preferred method of operation?
Yes.
You, you're like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You hide in your shell.
Exactly.
I see the resemblance now. All of a
Yes.
sudden, now it makes sense why you click with the turtles.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Anytime, Casper.
1 hour in, we got some sports nuggets of the day coming up after these news updates.
WAYY Eau Claire, W286CK Eau Claire, Sports Talk 105.1 and 790 AM. From the 715 Newsroom, it's Morgan McCarthy with your news on Sports Talk 105.1.
Well, good morning. Coming out of a Labor Day weekend with new headlines to get us into the week, we begin in Rusk County. 2 people dead after drowning in a lake in the far northwestern part of Wisconsin. It happened at Lipset Lake in the town of Rusk. Heading into the weekend, as the Burnett County Sheriff's Office says, 18-year-old Grace Ryan and Kyrie Shaw from Blaine, Minnesota went swimming but slipped under the water. Deputies say high winds, choppy waters all played a role in their drownings. A third person on the lake lake was treated and released. The sheriff's office says that investigation remains open. Well, you probably noticed it was a steamy one. Do you live with somebody who gets a little cranky in the heat? And there's one more day to deal with the ornery. Forecasters say it'll be hot from top to bottom across Scotty, pretty much from the lakes to the rivers. The National Weather Service only heat advisory, though, for parts of western Wisconsin, but it won't last. We're expecting hopefully some rain or storms to roll through, but those temps will drop off tomorrow. Do it. Stick with it one more day. And in fact, on that note, if you're going to be hot, you might as well set a record, right? And we did. September 3rd was the hottest on record for Eau Claire. Forecasters say the city hit 100 degrees, hot enough to break the old record for heat, which was 98 degrees, set back in 1929. Well, it's a back-to-school vibe for most kids across the Chippewa Valley, so just a heads up, today's the first day of class for kiddos in Eau Claire, Chippewa. I'll tune in, other communities as well. Hope it's a safe and happy start to a brand new year, and that's a reminder that the buses will be back out on the roads, and we go to lawmaker land in Capital City as we ride the bus to Madison. It could soon cost you $1,000 if you don't stop for those school buses in our state. Lawmakers are looking at a plan that hikes up the fine for not stopping for stopped buses. Right now, the fines range between $30 and $300. Lawmakers want to bump that to between $300 and $1,000. And the new plan would add 3 demerit points against anyone convicted of not stopping for the bus. And if you've been to Titletown, you maybe have seen the fence change. Of course, the original Packer fence has a new message for the new season, as it has every year since 1984 at Fred Harris's house. This year, you'll be driving by a banner that says the new Pack is a love affair. That's what's on the fence. Of course, the Pack and their new quarterback, Jordan Love, start the season officially this Sunday in Chicago, but I don't have to tell you that. You already know. Probably chatting about it with Kasper this morning as well, right? So I'll take you wheels up. Delta Airlines has a list, the new list of the best domestic carriers. Are you planning a trip somewhere?
The Atlanta-based airline ranked number 1 for on-time arrivals, service, and comfort, according to Bounce's 2023 Airline Index. Southwest Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines place 2nd and 3rd, with Alaska Airlines and United rounding out the top 5. Other factors used in the annual airline comparison included in-flight entertainment, meals, and seat comfort. American Airlines, JetBlue Airways, Spirit Airlines, Frontier Airlines, and Allegiant Air also made Bounce's top 10 list of domestic airlines for 2023. I'm Mark Mayfield.
You know, we were looking at a list of kind of revamping the studio, getting some new furniture, that kind of thing. And Casper's been squirrely and squirming around all day. I said, what's the problem? His number one concern:
meals and seat comfort.
For Sports Talk 105.1, I'm Morgan McCarthy.
We're at the tail end of this heat wave, but we still have another day in the 90s with heat advisories still in place towards our southern counties. We'll have some more clouds keeping us on the lower end of the 90 for today. Still some peaks of sunshine before showers and storms head our way later this afternoon and evening, some of which could be on the stronger side. That takes us into tomorrow with highs much cooler, feeling like fall, only climbing to the upper 60s with some scattered showers and storms. I'm Skywarn 13 meteorologist Mike D'Andrea.
Time to talk about the fall harvest, and that means more than corn and soybeans. Let's take a look at some of our farm news this morning on Sports Talk 105.1 and AM 790. In Wisconsin, one of our most beautiful fall harvest scenes can be seen in the cranberry bogs. This year, state cranberry growers expected to harvest a 4.97 million barrel crop. That would account for 60% of the soybeans grown in the U.S. It'll be the 29th straight year we have led the nation in cranberry production. No other state even come close. Massachusetts is second, but with only 1.95 million barrels, while New Jersey is third, followed by Oregon and Washington. Total U.S. production this year expected to be about 8.2 million barrels. Just over half of our production is exported every year, with Colombia, the United Kingdom, the European Union, China, Mexico, and South Korea being our best customers. Well, if you want to rent farmland in Illinois, bring your checkbook. A just completed survey of rental rates for land in our major growing states shows 9 of the 10 most expensive counties to rent farmland are in Illinois. Most expensive rent is in Moultrie County, Illinois, at $367 an acre. Breaking into the top 10 from outside Illinois is Grundy County, Iowa, where land is renting for $329 an acre. In Minnesota, the most expensive cropland is in Sibley County, $285 an acre, with Lafayette County in southwest Wisconsin being our most expensive county at $259 an acre this year. Most rental rates are up between $15 and $25 an acre this year. And another reminder for dairy cattle exhibitors for this year's World Dairy Expo. Deadline for the entries to World Dairy Expo yesterday. Now it's going to cost you $250 an animal to let them into the show at World Dairy Expo. And let's look at some of our food and farm news this morning on Sports Talk 105.1 and AM 790. I'm Bob Bosold.
When it comes to your health and well-being, trust the experts at Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Their dedicated team of orthopedic specialists is there to help you regain your mobility, conquer pain, and get back to doing what you love. They offer personalized care that's as unique as you are. So don't let pain hold you back. Rediscover your strength with Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Just visit cvosm.com to get started. Your journey to a pain-free life begins at Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
At Staples, school savings are always in session. From art supplies and essentials to the latest tech, in stock and priced low. School on, save on at your local Staples store.
Crank it up. Hey! Are you ready to take? Get up! Get up! He's on his way. He's our man. The man, the myth, the legend. That's Dan. And now, the Dan Kasper Show.
All right, here we go. Second hour kicking off on this Tuesday morning of September 5th. Hopefully, all had a good weekend, Labor Day weekend, if you were able to have the day off yesterday and such and enjoy it. Now we got a brand new work week here for some of us. Some of them already began yesterday. Coming up this hour, we'll get back to some more football talk here. We'll talk some more green and gold. We're going to talk some college football. Badgers picking up a win in week one. Blue Gold's picking up a win in week one. We'll talk with RJ Cardinal from the Zone in Madison coming up next hour about 8:20, previewing Washington State, recapping week one, and then looking ahead to week two against Washington State. Let's kick off this hour doing some sports nuggets of the day, brought to you by Yancey Associates. 1901, the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues was formed in Chicago. It was the first organized baseball league. 1906, Branberry Robinson of St. Louis University was recognized as throwing the first forward pass in football history. 1914, Babe Ruth hit his first home run as a professional player in the International League. 1918, Babe Ruth with the Red Sox threw a six-hitter in the opening game of the World Series. Let's go with Cassius Clay, 1960, won the gold medal in a light heavyweight boxing. At the Olympic Games in Rome, Italy. Cassius Clay, as we know, later changed his name to Muhammad Ali. What else do we got on here? 1983, Sports Illustrated became the first national weekly magazine to use 4-color process illustrations on every page. We got, I think, is that about it? I think that's about it. Yeah, those are just some of your sports nuggets of the day, brought to you by Ansay Associates. Let's catch up on some texts on that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line here this morning. Don't forget, if you want to join in on the conversation, hit us up at 715-830-1912 or on the video stream that's up and rolling on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Also hit us up on Facebook and Twitter at DANKASPER, Twitter, X, whatever the heck we're going to call it these days here. We got G-Man chiming in. Captain, I'll be drinking Kool-Aid. Pack is going to show Packers fans some love. The way Bucky can run the ball. I'm talking about the Badgers and running the football there. Brewers will win tonight, and JR's Twins are on fire. P.S. I will be there at Hy-Vee on Thursday at 4. Go, Pack, go. C-Bomb, my bar for love is to lead the team to 9 wins, which is one better than 12 had last year. I want to see him lead, be decisive with the football, not make the same mistakes twice. Dave, Jordan Love might be good, but with all the early draft picks, Joe Barry better become a better defensive coordinator. Josh, it's mid for me. I'm going to wait till the bye week to drink the Kool-Aid or not. My expectations that we are competitive and we aren't getting run over every week. We got Brian on the video stream here. Also saying, just taking a second for it to load up. Sitting 3 years behind Rodgers is like Rodgers sitting 3 years behind Favre. Now, it is too early to compare, but there is a lot to be said for quarterbacks to sit on the bench and watch their first couple of years. Work for Young, work for Rodgers, will work for Jordan Love. First hour, we kind of spent some time talking about Jordan Love as we get set to do, or as we get set for kickoff, finally, week 1 between Packers and Bears. Been asking, Jordan Love, what are your expectations for Jordan Love this year? Where is that bar for you for Jordan Love? And what would get you to drink the Jordan Love Kool-Aid if you haven't already taken a sip or started to drink that Jordan Love Kool-Aid? Where have you? So I threw out a few different questions out there. And you can, if you haven't had a chance yet to send those on over, go ahead and do so. I'm genuinely curious to hear from you, Packers fans, and I'm curious to hear if there's any Packers fan out there that maybe you weren't high on Jordan Love, but after watching preseason, training camp, listening to some national peeps out there, now that we're through training camp and preseason, has your opinion changed slightly? Now, I don't expect maybe some people to do a complete 180 and to completely change their whole viewpoint on Love, because we haven't seen any regular season games. I mean, maybe there's some. I don't know, but I wouldn't expect a whole lot of people to be like doing a complete 180. Now, I'm just genuinely curious. Has there been maybe a change in the mood a little bit, slightly, or maybe not? I think everybody's different. On where they stand with Mr. Love at this point in time. And I'll be honest, for me, I feel a little bit better. Now, I wasn't a fan of the Jordan Love pick. Anybody who watched our draft show from a few years ago when he was selected, I was not a fan of it. But there has been some moments, a lot of moments this year that's like, okay, I'm a little bit more optimistic. I'm not ready to fully drink the Kool-Aid yet. I'm not ready to drink the green-colored Kool-Aid or yellow color, whatever one we're using here. But there's been flashes. There's been moments where it's like, okay, maybe there's something. We won't know until games get going here. But I feel a little bit better right now at this point in time heading into the season than for sure what I did a couple years ago, for sure what I did last year. And I think even probably a little bit more, right before training camp started. I'm feeling a little bit better. Last year we saw glimpses, with the Eagles. That that's the game everybody's kind of pointing to and drawing some comparisons to when Rodgers came in during that Cowboys game. Was that a Thursday night game? I remember going to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch it because that was still at a time when nobody had the NFL Network, and I had to be at Buffalo Wild Wings at 3:00 that afternoon, and it was already packed, and you had to share a booth with people. But and in that article that I mentioned in the first hour by Bill Huber, SI.com, Packer Central, where he talked to Rodgers, and Rodgers even kind of used that comparison out there too with, Rodgers coming in, that Dallas game kind of proving to himself and maybe to some others that, hey, I can play in this league, and using that comparison to Love with the Eagles game last year. Hopefully that's just kind of a springboard there a little bit. But I do feel a little bit better heading into this season. I feel a little bit more, maybe not better. That might be not the right way to say that. A little bit more optimistic a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more hopeful that this is going to work out, that Love is going to be the long-term starter here for Green Bay, that he's got what it takes to be a starter in this league, to be a good starter in this league. And I'm excited to see what the guy's got. This year is going to be all up and down. You hope there's more good than bad, obviously. You hope that there's a lot of good and maybe just a couple of bads, and he's going to go out and have a Pro Bowl year and just have a spectacular season. Odds are, though, it's going to be up and down. It's going to be a learning curve. I'm anxious to see how he does. I'm excited to see how Jordan Love plays. I'm optimistic on how he can play. But I think also, too, going back to that expectation, expectations for me is not going to be a Super Bowl for Jordan Love this year. My expectations, though, for Jordan Love still got to be fairly high. He's got to go out there and prove and play at a level that he's a starting quarterback in this league, that he's got to go out there and prove that he is a starting quarterback in this league, that he is a quarterback that can lead a team to a championship. He's got to display that this year. He's got to display some of those moments this year, more so than not. When it's all said and done, when we get to that final week, whenever it's going to be, whether it's in the postseason or whether it's not, when it's all said and done, when this 2023-24 season's over with, I just want to have that feeling of, yep, he's the starter. And you know what? Green Bay did it again, finding another quarterback. And it'll be interesting, kind of going back to Brian's comment about, sitting quarterbacks and such. Obviously Green Bay's had the benefit of already having a quarterback on their roster, a really good quarterback on their roster, a Hall of Fame quarterback on their roster where they can afford to, sit a guy for a couple of years there. Might not be the best thing, or I shouldn't say that, might not be the for that rookie, in this case, Rodgers when he was first drafted and Love when he was first drafted. Obviously, they want to go out there and they want to play right away. And this year, we're seeing, what is it, 3-4 rookie starting quarterbacks? Richardson, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud and such. They're going to be starting right away. Green Bay's kind of had that luxury. One, they, Love and Rodgers weren't drafted as high as those guys I just mentioned, but they've had that veteran quarterback where they can sit. These other teams are desperate to try to find their long-term starting quarterback. They're kind of a little impatient, but they might not have a better option on their roster at this point either. So I know, if I'm already envisioning it, if Love is going to go out there this season and has a spectacular season, has a really good season, you're going to have the debate about sitting quarterbacks or not. Heck, Patrick Mahomes sat for a year too. But Chiefs had a luxury of Alex Smith and, a guy that could still lead them to the postseason. So I think it's going to be different case by case scenario if we do have that debate. It's so dependent on what quarterbacks are already on the roster for those certain teams. So, but keep your thoughts coming. Hit me up with some text, 715-830-1912, or find me on Twitter at DANKASPER. Also, video stream up and rolling. You can leave a comment in the comment section over there. I also threw out a Badger question. If you want to get those in before we talk to RJ here in about an hour. But your reactions, I know it's been a few days and such, but your reactions, your thoughts from what you saw in that week 1 win against Buffalo. Started off a little slow, right? Maybe didn't put up, the pounding right away that some of us kind of thought that we wanted to see in week 1 going up against Buffalo. Maybe started off a little slow, but hey, Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi putting up big-time rushing attack over there. How were you feeling heading into this game against Washington State now? Given what you saw week 1, maybe you're thinking a little bit what happened last year when Washington State came into Madison. But how are you feeling about this game and your thoughts, your analysis on that week 1 victory? All right, hit me up, okay? Hit me up on that. Curious to get some thoughts. Could definitely tell football season, though, was in full swing Saturday. going on the socials of like Twitter and Facebook and seeing, some posts and all that good stuff. It's definitely football season out there. No doubt about it. And don't forget, it is a Grind My Gears Tuesday. So maybe, Grind My Gears Tuesday, maybe there's something that you want to grind your gears about the way the Badgers started the game. I don't know. I'm throwing out some stuff. So you got something on your Grind My Gears Tuesday that you want to hit us up with? Go ahead and do so. All right. Get it off your chest. Today is the day to do that. Let's take a quick break, and we'll talk some more green and golds coming up after these quick words.
You're listening to the Dan Kasper Show.
So hot in here. Oh, is that what it's like in your living, dining, or any other room in your home or office? Then you need to talk with the experts at Auto Trim in Eau Claire. Yes, Auto Trim still does remote start, seat heaters, and other cool stuff for your vehicle, but they also do window tints for your home or auto. In fact, Auto Trim has been helping the Chippewa Valley for over 40 years. When it's so hot in here, in your home or office, you've got to call Auto Trim of Eau Claire for new window tinting.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Wow, what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking, guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. That's right, weight loss seminar Saturday, September 30th at the Best Western Plus Eau Claire Conference Center in Eau Claire at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Ready to ride?
Just let me get my flip-flops on.
Whoa, Mom and Dad are going for a ride without their protective gear.
Quick, grab the checklist. I'll grab the gear.
Just where do you two think you're going without your safety gear?
Yeah, you know how we feel about riding without your gear.
Well, it's so nice out.
And we're only going for a short ride.
Not before you put all this gear on, you're not.
But
riding pants?
Okay.
Check.
Motorcycle boots?
Bye-bye, flip-flops.
Check.
Armored jackets?
Nice.
Check.
Riding gloves?
2 pairs.
Check.
Last but not least, full face helmets.
Check.
Now you're ready to ride.
And you look cool.
All the gear, all the time. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov.
Be home on time for dinner.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
What's the special today?
Well, I've got half-price geofencing with a side of SEO, double bubble on all PPC, and 50% off all OTT CTV contracts.
Sound familiar when you were looking for marketing options? Are vendors selling you their tactics rather than your solutions? Then let the marketing mixologists at Midwest Family Eau Claire come to the rescue. Midwest Family Eau Claire isn't about hitting their sales quotas. They're about helping you hit yours. Go to MidwestFamilyEauClaire.com today and find out how their integrated marketing solutions make just the right marketing cocktail for you. MidwestFamilyEauClaire.com.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union, the local Wisconsin team that's always rooting for you. Kick off Hispanic Heritage Month with the Brewers on Friday, September 15th at Cerveceros Night, presented by Aurora Healthcare. With a special Cerveceros ticket, you'll get a Hispanic Heritage Brewers hat. Get yours at brewers.com/community nights. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today.
Oli is a leading subspecialty yeast extracts, culinary powders, and bionutrients for fermentation processes. Focused on taste, health, and natural ingredients based in Boyceville. They maintain a friendly, team-driven culture, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and practical shift schedules. So if you're looking to begin or advance your career, apply at Oli.com/careers. Oli is currently seeking professionals in engineering and production operators to help improve the taste of life. Apply now, OHLY.com/careers.
By about next March, you probably are getting sick of winter. I've got a solution. Come on along with me on a farm tour to Costa Rica and Panama with agricultural highlights. It's March 23rd through April 1st as we explore those two Central American countries. Coffee estate, go to a local farm in Costa Rica. We'll also sail through. We'll go to the Arnell Volcano National Park and so much more. Visit holidayvacations.com. Keyword is wax for more information and to watch a travel show or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
If you were to listen to Dan Kasper nonstop around the clock for a solid month, you'd become the king of all sports fans, desired by beautiful women, and rich beyond your dreams. I think. Try it and let's see. The Dan Kasper Show.
Are you ready to transform your home and give it a fresh new look? Look no further than Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire, your ultimate destination for all of your flooring needs. Step into their store and discover a world of possibilities, from soft and luxurious carpets to sleek luxury vinyl planks and easy to maintain laminate. They have everything you need to turn your house into a home that you will love. And at Carpet City Flooring Center, they believe that quality shouldn't break the bank. That's why they offer a wide range of flooring options to suit every budget without compromising on style or durability. Plus, they match or beat the competition as well. So if you happen to find a better deal elsewhere, no, they'll beat that or match it. Their friendly and knowledgeable staff are there to guide you every step of the way, from helping you select the perfect flooring to professional installation. They make that process easy and stress-free. So why wait? Visit Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and discover the endless possibilities for your home. You can find them at 3109 East Hamilton Avenue or visit their website at carpetcitywi.com. And if you want any proof on, why that Carpet City Flooring Center is the best in the biz, you can check out the photos that we posted up on my Facebook page with the transformation of the man cave over there with the new flooring over there. I mean, they were with us through every step of the process, trying to find the floor that would work within our budget and would perform the best in our space down there. And it looks absolutely fantastic. And they pay attention to every small detail over there too. So just can't thank Carpet City Flooring Center enough for the fantastic job that they did for the man cave, and they can do the same thing for you too in any space in your home or work as well. So give them a shout, give them a visit over there. All right, let's get things going here. Let's talk some more football here as we approach the bottom of the hour. Week 1 against the Chicago Bears, getting set to kick off this Sunday. Joe, we've been asking about Jordan Love expectations, drinking the Kool-Aid and that sort of thing. What are your realistic expectations for Jordan Love this season?
Dude, that's a tough question. It's truly the $1 million question is what is Jordan Love going to do this year? And I think, again, and we talked about this a little bit, Captain, that you look back at Aaron Rodgers when he took over for Brett Favre, and there was a lot of inconsistency, especially the first part of his first season when the Packers went 6-10, and really Aaron Rodgers really didn't show who Aaron Rodgers was going to be until that second full season. So, I think if you look at it from a statistic standpoint, anything, below 15 interceptions, I think is considered a good season. I think anything above 22, 23 touchdowns would be considered a good season. I think you look at completion percentage, and for me, Jordan Love needs to be in that 63 plus percentage. But but is that going to translate to wins and losses on the field? Again, Aaron Rodgers, 13 interceptions his first year as a starter. I believe 28 touchdowns. If Jordan Love has a season like that, is that a success? Probably yes. And so, I think my expectations is, first of all, realistic. I know there's going to be rookie mistakes, or excuse me, not rookie mistakes, but young quarterback mistakes. I know that's going to happen. And so it's how does he respond after that? Is it going to be, you see one of those games where it just snowballs and Jordan Love throws for, 3 or 4 or 5 interceptions and really has one of those bad games? Or, when he throws the pick, does he learn from it? So I think expectations to put a number on things are going to be tough. I think what you want to see are glimpses of the quarterback he could be, and I think you want to see improvement. And so, yeah, I've got some numbers in my head. Like I said, the completion percentage is a big one because accuracy has always been a problem for Jordan Love. And really that touchdown to interception ratio, I think, is going to be a big one too. Just so many questions on this team. Green Bay goes into this game a 1-point favorite, or excuse me, 1-point underdog for the first time since 2019 against the Bears. And so, when you look at that, and again, usually the home team gets a 3-point bump in that regard. And that's an interesting twist. I mean, since 2009, Chicago has only been favored in 3 of the 28 games between the two teams. And so for Chicago to be a 1-point favorite, I think that says that nobody really knows what Green Bay is going to be able to do, and no one's really going to know what to expect from Jordan Love. So glimpses and how does he bounce back from those mistakes that are inevitable from a young quarterback.
What did you make of the Jonathan Taylor rumors last week?
It was interesting because the joke is Goody's in on every conversation. I think, he's always doing his due diligence. But, there were a couple of different reports what was offered. There was a couple of different reports that the Packers were prepared to really go to the mat for a new contract for Taylor. So I think when you look at it, and I love Aaron Jones, but again, Aaron Jones is 29 compared to Jonathan Taylor is 24. And going back to your Jordan Love question, what can you do to make life easy for a first-year starting quarterback in the NFL? And that's to give him a dynamic running game and to give him an offensive line. And so I think this was one of those, the more that I kind of read between the tea leaves and talked to people, I think there was probably a little bit more fire than just smoke this time around. And again, I think Green Bay might still be in those conversations. It wouldn't surprise me at all because Jonathan Taylor, even though he can't play the first 4 games, he still could be traded. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Green Bay still has conversations. I think, again, building talent around a young quarterback is essential for success. And if Green Bay can improve their roster, they have to do so. When you look at the running back situation, A.J. Dillon, this is the last year of his contract. Aaron Jones, yes, he took a pay cut this year, but, he's going to be 30 next year, and they're going to have to probably renegotiate again. So I tend to believe that there was some merit to the rumors and rumblings out there, and probably, like I said, more fire than just smoke.
What kind of message would that send throughout the locker room, though, knowing that would affect playing time or even the careers of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, who are viewed as leaders and respected guys in that locker room?
I think, if I'm a player, and I get it, but I don't care what level you're at, you need competition, and you need sometimes a push from behind. And I always talk about bottom-up pressure rather than top-down pressure. And whether or not you're in a business organization or you're on a football team, I think that bottom-up pressure can always help. So if I'm a player on that team and I'm looking at Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and I'm a professional and I say, you know what, why are they looking at bringing someone else in? Well, I take that as a challenge and I say, all right, I got to step up my game and I got to produce more. And so, I think at that level, I just think that you need to have a level of competition coming up from behind you. So again, I don't see it doing anything negative or major to the locker room. I see it as, again, Green Bay had an opportunity to look into and improving their team, and they did so. And again, nothing came of it yet. But Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, will get traded at some point over the next few weeks. It's just a matter of where and what the compensation is.
Looking ahead to week one against Chicago, then just to do a little bit of a, I guess, preview of this game and the NFC North, I guess, at that point too. I mean, I know it's week one and it might be kind of hard to do some, keys to victory or matchups, considering we really don't know anything about these teams yet. But, going into Chicago and such, if you had some keys to victory for Green Bay to go in there and get a win in week one, what would those keys to victories be?
You know what? And I'm going to go back to week one last year because you had a lot of unknowns with Minnesota last year with the new coach coming in. And what were the keys to that victory? And we can look back at that 23-7 game, which really wasn't that close. Even though the score didn't get out of hand, that game was not close last year against the Vikings as far as game one goes. And you look at where that defense was compared to where that defense was at the end of the year. Now I compare it here. Look, the Bears they're the same as the Green Bay Packers. Their success is going to rest squarely on Justin Fields. Does he take that next step in his development? Now he's got a legitimate number one receiver in DJ Moore, who the Bears acquired from the Panthers this offseason. And so, they're going to go as far as Justin Fields does. And you're right, it's hard to talk matchups. But I think a big thing for me is how are you going to defend Justin Fields and this Bear offense? You looked in the offseason, Justin Fields, dynamic runner. You also looked in the offseason, or excuse me, in the preseason, that you saw a lot of the bubble screens and getting balls out to playmakers quick. And so how does Green Bay's defense play this Bear offense? And then, we all know that the Bear offense has can trend back or has some things similar to Green Bay because Luke Getsy is the offensive coordinator there. And so, I think really I'm not going to look at an individual matchup, but what I want to see is how Green Bay's defense comes out in game one against, a dynamic athlete. And I'm not going to say quarterback in Justin Fields, and really, truly a guy that could be a dynamic receiver in DJ Moore. And so how does this defense respond? Are you going to see more of an aggressive Green Bay Packer defense? So the biggest matchup I'm looking at is the Green Bay defense as a whole against Justin Fields and this Bear offense.
Give me a breakout candidate player for the Packers this year.
I think it's Devontae Wyatt. I think he's going to obviously get a chance and an opportunity this year. And when you look at the depth chart for the Green Bay Packers, he is listed starting at that defensive end, which traditional power end type of thing. And so, he's going to be there instead of a guy like Dean Lowry has been over the last several years. So I think Devontae Wyatt's got to be that guy. I think you drafted him in the first round last year. You expect him to be a player. You let guys walk this offseason. So I think Devontae Wyatt's got to be that guy you got to look at from a breakout standpoint. The second guy I'm going to say, and this is going to sound like, wait a second, that guy's not a breakout, is going to be Keyshawn Nixon. And I don't mean it from a special team standpoint. I'm going to mean it more from that nickelback standpoint, that star position standpoint, because all last year, guys rotated in, and you didn't know who was going to be that star player. And really, by the end of the year, it was several players filling that role as that nickelback. And again, the nickelback and the Joe Barry defense, more of that star role. So I would say Keyshawn Nixon on the defensive side of the ball, breakout candidate. And again, Devontae Wyatt, I think, is an obvious one. Keyshawn Nixon, I think, a little bit different. And really, there's going to be a couple of rookies starting on offense. I don't really see them as breakout candidates because we don't know what they're going to do. This is their first year. So guys like Luke Musgrave and Jaden Reed, of course, you got to see what they're going to do and where they're going to go. But I would definitely put Wyatt and Keyshawn Nixon from a defensive standpoint as my breakout candidates.
Biggest question mark now that we are into the regular season, but bigger question mark for the season. Is it Jordan Love or is it Joe Barry?
We went through this in the offseason when we talked about the biggest keys to success. And I think it's Jordan Love. I think the quarterback position, especially in the NFL, is so critical to success. And no one, if anyone says they know what's going to happen with Jordan Love, and again, there's some guys out there much smarter than me, Dan Orlovsky's of the world, Ryan Leafs of the world, who played the position of NFL quarterback, who expect big things from Jordan Love. And so, that's promising, but I think it's just such a big question mark. Joe Barry, for good, bad, or indifferent, at least has a track record. Jordan Love does not have a track record. And the other thing I look at is, as far as question marks, and I posted this on Twitter this morning, on the X, is this team, is this 2023 version of the Green Bay Packers better than the 2022 version? And in spots, yes. And again, and Jordan Love, take the Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers debate out of the question. Are they better at different places? And so I look at that, and I think that's another question mark that you need to throw in there is can these young guys, Green Bay, the youngest team in the NFL, can these young guys take that jump from year one to year two and year two to year three? So I think that's the other add you need to bring is this team better? Has Brian Gutekunst and his staff improved this football team? Take out the Rodgers to Love comparison. Has he improved this team in the other areas? And that's I think the big question mark as well. So you've got Jordan Love, you got Joe Barry, and then you got just Brian Gutekunst and his staff. Did they do a good job of improving this football team?
All right, so it's prediction time now. How do you see Week 1 playing out?
You know what? I'm going to go with Vegas on this one. I think it's going to be a very close football game. If this game were being played in Lambeau, I'd give it to Green Bay. But with this game being played at Soldier Field, I am giving it to the Bears, and it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be, the over-under for this game is 43, and I think that's a pretty good barometer. I think you're going to see something like a 27 to 24 ball game, or a 30 to 24, or a 24 to 20 ball game. And so I think I would take just over the over on that 43. And I'm giving it to the Bears with just a slight advantage. And I think, again, there's just too many unknowns and too many question marks to say unequivocally, I feel good about Green Bay's chances this week.
How about for the season, NFC North? How do you have it finishing out for the NFC North 1 through 4?
You know, at this point, I got to say, I still like the Vikings' talent. And when you look at the quarterback position in the NFC North, I still say that Kirk Cousins is the known quantity, the known entity out of those four quarterbacks in the NFC North. And I don't think they're going to miss a lot with going with Madison over Cook. They just signed T.J. Hawkinson now to a big-time deal. So I see Minnesota as number one still at this point, and I see Green Bay and Detroit fighting out for that number 2 spot. I still say Green Bay is a 10-7-ish kind of a football team. That's how it feels to me right now, because I do think there's still talent on this roster. Take away the questions at quarterback. And so I think it's going to be Minnesota, followed by some combination of Green Bay and Detroit, followed by Chicago. And Chicago, again, for all the hype that Bear fans and a lot of reporters and writers for the Bears have, this was not a good football team last year. And for them to take that jump into playoff contention has to be a huge jump. So I still see Chicago, even though I've got Chicago beating the Packers game 1, I still see them bringing up the rear. Do I see them being better than last year if Justin Fields takes that next step? Absolutely. Do I see them competing for a division title? No. So again, I see Minnesota, followed by some combination of Detroit and Green Bay, followed by Chicago.
All right. He's Joey D, Joe DeGuano, joining us here this morning. Appreciate the time as always, sir. And we'll catch up with you again next week, recapping week 1 and looking ahead to week 2.
You know what? It's that time of year, man. And, college football started. We're 3 or 4 games now into high school football, and we got the pros starting this week. Even though it's going to be 90-plus degrees today, my wife and I put all the fall decorations up in the house. It is fall. It is time for football. Best time of the year.
Absolutely. Well, you enjoy the rest of the week, sir, and we'll catch up with you again soon, okay?
All right, Captain. Take care, brother.
You got it. There you go. There's Joe DeGuano joining us here this morning. We're going to take a quick break, and then we finish up the second hour with Grind My Gears. And, of course, The main man when it comes to Grind My Gears Tuesday, Surveyor Sam, coming in with a good one. I'm going to piggyback off of that too. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Calling all meat lovers, are you craving some quality cuts that make every meal a masterpiece? Well, then look no further than Mike's Star Market. From succulent steaks to juicy burgers and mouth-watering brats, Mike's Star Market offers the finest selection of meats that'll tantalize your taste buds. Their commitment to quality means you'll get the most flavorful products in the area. Don't settle for ordinary when you can shine like a star. Visit Mike's Star Market today at 2238 Heimstead Road in Eau Claire and check out their website at mikesstarmarket.com. Don't forget, too, we got opening bow is looking at the schedule coming up here in a couple weeks. Next weekend already. Holy moly. I know the weather doesn't seem like it, but that's where we got that we put out a month challenge a couple weeks ago, but we only got about a week and a half left or so, a little under 2 weeks, where if you go to Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire, buy some brats like the Man Cave Light brats or the dill pickle and cheese brats there. Mike's has been a big supporter of Backyard Dreams, so we put that challenge out there to see how many brats we can sell and then in turn raise some money for some Backyard Dreams. So we put that challenge out there. The expiration here is I shouldn't say expiration, but we kind of put like a soft deadline around the opening of bow season, which is coming up here really quick because they want to make another donation. So we put that challenge out there. If you haven't picked up some brats yet for football season starting this weekend with pro football, or maybe picking up some brats if you're going out to deer camp for some bow season or such, now's the time to go to Mike's Star Market and pick up those brats. All right, pick up those brats, because then you're helping out Backyard Dreams. So go do it. Big thanks again to Mike Star Market for being a big supporter of Backyard Dreams. All right, grind my gears time. All right, Surveyor Sam, who is the master of Grind My Gears Tuesday, coming in with what's grinding his gears today. He says, you know what grinds my gears, DK? The Badger fans that have not gotten over the fact that we need to be louder. I read an article yesterday about some fans complaining that it was too loud in the stadium on Saturday. I'm sorry, but if you want to watch a game that's quiet, go attend a golf tournament. For years, the players have been begging fans to get in the stadium early and be loud. It annoys me that when you go to the game and see half the stadium not doing anything but just sitting. This is a football game. Loud noise is part of it. Either embrace the noise or sell your tickets. Now, I don't know. I don't know the article that Surveyor is referring to, but if there was an article and there was complaining about the Camp Randall being too loud, I would totally agree with Surveyor Sam in this. You can't be too loud at a football stadium unless you're the home team and your offense is on the field. That grinds my gears too. And that's where I'm kind of piggybacking off of this. If you're the home team and your offense is on the field, I don't care if they're going for it on fourth down, which tends to get the loud or the crowd a little bit amped up and loud. And then the offense has got to tell everybody to be quiet and, shh a little bit. But if you are at a game and your team's on defense, you better be loud. You better be loud. You better be on your feet and getting loud. All right. Now, if you're on offense, got to be quiet. Zip it up. If your team's on offense, zip it up. Any other facts? No, you be loud. And please, it's like a tradition unlike any other in Green Bay. I think it's at this point now. Matt LaFleur has tried for years to stop this. And I know he made a comment again about it a couple weeks ago. For the love of all that is good and great in this world, stop doing the wave when your team is on offense. Stop doing the wave when your team is on. How about just getting rid of the wave altogether? Okay? It's overplayed. It's overdone. Just stop it. Stop it. Okay? It's not that hard. Not that hard. Oh, all right. Good one there, Surveyor. But yeah, I did not see that article. I didn't see any talk about that. But if there really was people that was complaining about it, man, I don't know. If there was fans too loud there, man. Send that article over to me, Surveyor, if you got a chance. I'd like to read that. So, all right, we got a couple minutes left. Speaking of Badger football here, we'll talk with RJ Cardinal coming up at about 8:20 this morning. We'll recap Week 1 victory over Buffalo. If you got any thoughts on the game itself, you can send those puppies on over. But we'll recap Week 1 and look ahead to Week 2 coming up this weekend against Washington State on the road. A couple of interesting games over the weekend outside of the Badger and Buffalo one there. You had Duke upsetting Clemson, Florida State taking it to LSU. Now, a couple of interesting games over the weekend. And obviously, Colorado with Dion making his debut and picking up the win against TCU. So, all right there. But we'll talk some college football with Mr. RJ Cardinal coming up at about 8:20 this morning. We'll get back to some baseball talk as well. Brewers, Game 2 against Pittsburgh tonight, 5:35. Brandon Woodruff. Brewers coming off of a loss against the Pirates in Game 1 of their series yesterday. Final time, these two teams will be going at each other for the rest of this season here. 25 games left to go in the regular season for the Brew Crew. That's it. Just 25 more. And they're holding on to that division lead. 2.5 over the Cubs, 5.5 over the Reds. Cubs are in that second wild card spot right now. Reds are right there too. They're tied win percentage for the final spot there, but they're just right there. So it's going to be a fantastic, nerve-wracking, anxious race to the finish here. So, but we'll get back to some baseball talk coming up here in just a little bit too. Can Brandon Woodruff continue his solid play ever since coming back a couple months ago from the injured list? But the offense needs to help him out there a little bit too. So, we'll get to that here. Maybe we'll get back to some more green and gold talk too. But if we get back to that, the question we were throwing out in the first hour, what are your expectations for Jordan Love, realistic expectations for Jordan Love this year? Where do you have that bar for Jordan Love this year? Where's that bar? So think about it. Let me know. Hit me up at Sports Talk 105, or hit me up at Sports Talk 105. Hit me up on the Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912. 2 in, 1 more to go. Stick around. We'll be back in just a couple minutes after these quick news updates. third and final hour kicking off on this Tuesday morning of September 5th. Appreciate you tuning in wherever, however you may be tuning in from. Coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes, we'll catch up with RJ Cardinal, Badger analyst from the Zone in Madison, recapping the Week 1 victory against Buffalo, looking ahead to Week 2 against Washington State on the road here. So we'll catch up with RJ coming up here in just a little bit. Surveyor Sam firing up some of the listeners with his grind my gears here. Surveyor did send over the article he'd read. It was from Badger Extra. It was about apparently fans complaining about the PA system, and had a few people text in the PA system was too loud at the games. So I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you, but I guess, is it? Yeah, I'll open that up for conversation for everybody else. I know, and just kind of reading it here a little bit, it kind of sounds similar to what Green Bay has done or tried to do the last couple of years. Really emphasize to get the crowd louder, using the PA system, using the announcer, using music to get people on their feet and to get loud. I know that's what Bill Jarts and the Packers, Bill Jarts, the PA announcer for Green Bay, they've been trying to do over the last few years, is to get the crowd louder. So I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you what it was like. But all right, it's got some people fired up, kind of going back and forth here. There you go, Surveyor. Mission accomplished. C-Bomb also texted in. Yes, get rid of the wave. And if you are screaming while your offense is on the field, well, you should just be taken away. I'll clean up what C-Bomb said there a little bit. Texter Dennis on Jordan Love. Just get better each week. Learn from mistakes. Touchdown interception ratio will be the telltale sign. My bar for him is 25-10, although I really hope he is in the single digits for interceptions. Got James on the video stream here. Love expectations, better than 65% completion percentage, more than 3,600 yards passing, more than 26 touchdowns, fewer than 12 interceptions. Do this and we have better quarterback play than last year. So a few people kind of using the numbers and comparing them to Rodgers' numbers from last year in terms of that bar and maybe some expectations on here. So we got I'm feeling like kind of a middle person here. We got some people maybe kind of getting it off their chests. This texture is from looks like it's from Greg. If anybody's complaining that a stadium is too loud, don't go to a football game then. It's supposed to be loud. They're trying to get people louder over there. We got another texture from Dave saying, I understand trying to be louder, but if the PA system is just a little bit too loud, that could get annoying. All right, so a little back and forth over there. This one's from this is from Josh saying football stadiums are meant to be loud. Get over it, people. If you are complaining that the PA system was too loud, maybe if you do your job as a fan and being loud, they wouldn't have to be loud over there. All right, got some back and forth going on over there. And well done, Surveyor. You got the conversation going with that there. So again, I'll ask RJ. He was at the game, so I'll ask RJ his thoughts on it, I guess, over there too. So, but we'll get to him in about 10, 15 minutes or so. Before that, though, Brew Crew back in action tonight. They did take 2 out of 3 against the Philadelphia Phillies over the weekend. Dropped last night's game against the Pirates 4-2. 25 games left to go here in the regular season. Only 25 more to go here. But looking back at last night's game, Burns, 6 innings, 4 earned runs, did strike out 7, but gave up a couple of dingers there. Offense, non-existent for the Crew. They had 6 hits, but only able to manufacture 2 runs, all coming in the second inning there. So Brewers had that lead, but bottom of the 4th and the 5th, Pirates putting up 2 runs in each frame there, and the Brewers just could not tack on anymore after putting up those 2 runs in the top of the second here. Now you're looking at Corbin here. And I know we mentioned it, I think it was it last week or maybe even the week prior. But you got to go back to July 20th where he got his last win. Now I know that doesn't really tell the whole story, wins and losses. You look at quality starts and that sort of thing. And I totally agree with that. But you look back at it just, record-wise, that was the last time he was credited with a win for crying out loud. That's the last time. A whole month of August. No, but he did have quality starts in there. I mean, you got that Dodger game, you went 7 innings, no earned runs. Cubs, he went 7 innings, 1 earned run. He got dinged with the loss on there. So, I mean, those were, just a couple of examples where it wasn't his fault at all. But, man. Freddie Peralta rewarded for his dominant month of August, named NL Pitcher of the Month, and rightfully so, because Strikeout Freddie has just been on fire as of late here. So, he's been, what a positive wild card he has been for this crew and this pitching staff right now. But we'll see if Brandon Woodruff tonight can pick up his 4th win. He's going to need some offense to back him up here a little bit, though. Let's give him some run support for crying out loud, because, Pittsburgh would love nothing more than to play spoilers against, their division rivals, their division opponents, whether it's Brewers or Cubs or whoever they're playing. They're out of the picture. First half of the season, they looked like maybe they could be contending for a playoff spot. They've fallen off big time here in the last couple of months. Now they're in that role of playing spoiler. So they would love nothing more than to win this series against the Brewers and maybe make things a little bit more interesting in that race and make them a little bit more nervous in here too. So let's get some more run support for Brandon Woodruff tonight. Pick up this win. Get out of Pittsburgh with a win tomorrow before they head over to New York to face the Yankees for 3 games. But it's going to be a grueling stretch coming down here in the next couple weeks here, because after tomorrow's day game, Brewers will only have one more off day. They got the off day on Thursday and then just one more off day, and that's not until the 25th. So they've got a full stretch of games from the 8th all the way through the 24th. Games every single day. Yankees, Miami, Washington, Cardinals, Miami again, before they wrap up the regular season against the Cardinals and the Cubs. And if you're doing a little scoreboard watching right now, you've got the Cubs taking on the Giants right now. Cubs picked up the victory last night, but the Giants are in a battle for a wild card spot tier 2. So let's go, Giants. Gotta help out your cause here. And you're looking at the next couple of weeks here. Cubs got 2 more against the Giants, but then they've got the Diamondbacks for 4 games here. And the Diamondbacks are a team that's going after a wild card spot here too. So maybe hopefully one of these teams, sorry, Cubs fans, but, Brewers fans here hoping that Cubs maybe slip up here a little bit, just to create a little bit of distance there, kind of, hopefully. But it's going to be a grueling stretch coming down in these last final 25 games, 25 regular season games here for the Brewers. It's kind of like a playoff atmosphere already. NL Central race, the NL wild card race. You got the American League West right now with the Mariners and Texas and Houston there. And for that final wild card spot in the AL2, can Toronto get back in there? They're just a half game out. So we still got some interesting races to be watching here as we start to finish up this regular season. Got some good storylines to follow. Looking at the pitching matchup for tomorrow, too. Brewers are going to throw out Freddie Peralta for tomorrow's game. Then, we'll see what the Yankee series has in store for us. But I'm assuming Wade Miley is going to probably get a start in there, too, at some point and that. But like that, I'm kind of hoping I was hoping to see maybe a little bit of an update here on Adrian Howard. Yeah, I was looking for maybe like an Aaron Ashby update, but this was okay. So it was updated yesterday. Sidelined since he injured his shoulder in a run up to spring training. Ashby progressed all summer before running into a bit of a roadblock in terms of his velocity, but he had a good week of throwing during the Brewers' August 22nd through 27th homestand. He is slated to throw an inning on a rehab assignment. Council said the plans for Ashby to pitch for Wisconsin the week of September 4th and then move up to Double-A the following week. The Brewers are planning to pitch Aaron Ashby in short stints, so he likely won't need many rehab outings before he's an option for the big league bullpen. All right. Be nice to add him to the bullpen. No doubt about it. All right, let's take a quick break here and let's get to some college football chat here. So we got RJ. We'll talk some Badgers, recap week 1, look ahead to week 2. Sticking with college football too. Blue Golds had a big victory week 1 against Concordia Moorhead. Rob Erickson, head coach Rob Erickson, first game on the sidelines for the Blue Golds, and he picks up a win. Awesome video if you don't have like Twitter or anything like that, but there was an awesome quick video of inside the locker room where he got the game ball and such, but to see the entire team pumped up and such there, it was a really cool video. I know we retweeted it and such, but congrats to the Blue Golds and head coach Rob Erickson on win number 1. Hopefully the first win of many wins out there too. So, but let's take a quick break and we'll talk some more college football with Mr. RJ Cardinal coming up in just a few minutes.
Remember, the Shoe Doctor can keep your feet comfortable during all the different outdoor weather and activities here in the Chippewa Valley. Work boots, casual shoes, sandals, and more. From brands you trust like Keen, Merrill, Chaco, and Dansko, and that's just to name a few. Located on Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire, you can also visit them online at ShoeDoctorFootwear.com. The Shoe Doctor, quality footwear for work, sport, and fun.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union, the local Wisconsin team that's always rooting for you. Kick off Hispanic Heritage Month with the Brewers on Friday, September 15th at Cerveceros Night, presented by Aurora Healthcare. With a special Cerveceros ticket, you'll get a Hispanic Heritage Brewers hat. Get yours at brewers.com/community nights. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today.
There aren't many people as sports smart as he is, so he tries to use tiny words so people like me can easily follow along.
That doesn't make sense.
The Dan Kasper Show.
Don't forget, Sports Talk 105.1, 790 AM is now your home for the official Rollin' with the Golds podcast, your official UW Eau Claire Blue Golds athletics podcast. First episode dropped last week with new football coach Rob Erickson. This week, we're going to be talking with the new baseball coach, Coach Riley. So new episodes dropping every Thursday. If you haven't if you didn't have a chance to catch the first episode over there, it's a fantastic conversation with Coach Erickson. We kind of tell the stories a little bit more, kind of get to know the players and the coaches and the staff a little bit in more detail there too. But it was a fun conversation with Coach Erickson. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Rollin' with the Golds podcast on your favorite podcasting platforms, and it's also available at sportstalk1051.com. and at bluegolds.com. Speaking of college football, let's talk some Badgers with Mr. RJ Cardinal. RJ, you got to settle a little bit of a tiff that we got some listeners going back and forth on. Okay, so you're the deciding vote on this. Was the PA system too loud at the game on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
It absolutely was. When you're playing music over the referees, explaining plays that were under review, when I can't have a conversation with the person directly to my right, left, front, or back, especially when you're packed in there like sardines, that's an issue. The volume is the issue. Anybody who says it's the boomers and not liking rap, nobody is complaining about the music style. And those who are probably just doing it to get a rise out of people. This is strictly the volume at which the game was happening. It really left things to the it kept people out of the game more than it put them in. It seemed more people were confused, so the crowd noise was actually less because the music was more. And it's not. I get it. You can play music and stuff like that, but they were also playing over the band when it was clearly the band's turn to have their go at a stadium song, that they play during breaks. But I'm not one who needs to hear music during every down moment in football. So maybe I'm not the best to ask, but I'm also not a boomer who's complaining about things being too loud.
All right, so RJ says it was too loud, people. We had some people going back and forth on our texting line about that. So I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you. So I'm like, I'll ask RJ. I know he was there. So
perfect.
Well, I could tell it was football season 2 on Saturday, RJ, especially during the first half, because you go on Facebook and Twitter and everybody had a thought on how the game was going and voicing some frustrations and such. So what was your overall thought on the game, your analysis? It started off a little bit slow, but obviously Ches Malusi and Braylon Allen still know how to run the football, and they still gave those two guys the rock, and they carried that team.
Yeah, like I said to the guys down here, if you were expecting the full-on air raid, you clearly didn't listen to our show. You didn't listen to your show.
Yeah.
I've been talking about it the whole time. It's not an air raid. It's principles of air raid, and they run a power game and take what the defense gives them. So if you're going to be, if the defense is going to give you 314 rushing yards, you'll take it. There were some times though you saw the principles of the air raid sneak in there near the end of the game, passing when all you need to do is run out the clock. That was a little confusing because we've always seen that works out, and yet it led to a fourth quarter touchdown when you were trying to milk the clock by passing the ball. There's certain things I don't agree with the air raid, but that's a principle that did sneak out. So you saw the air raid, but like I said, all leading up to this, you look at his splits, and it's actually pretty close, within a 5% differential over his years as a FBS coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, looking at it, did anything was there any, because all offseason we were talking about, defense, offense, we kind of didn't know what to expect. And I know it's only just like one game into this, RJ, but was there anything that kind of made you scratch your head, whether it was on the defensive side of things or anything like that?
Tackling's still a problem.
Yeah.
You had a quarterback pass for almost 200 yards on you, and for the most part, it was with brand new wide receivers. Some guys who have been in the program, but are really getting their first time to do things here. And you held their top two running backs to about 50 yards apiece, but still they put up 122 yards on you. I mean, it's one of those, the defensive side of the ball, I think, scared some people, especially when you're going to be going up against Washington State next week, who just passed for almost 500 yards and put up 50 points on Colorado State. But defensively, it looks different. We also seemed like we were promised an attacking style defense. It looked like they were sitting back more in zone for a majority of the game, allowing a lot of underneath stuff. But then there was two big plays that guys got caught on out and ups, and that's just not acceptable. And it looked like a defense that was more looking for big hits than actually wrapping up and making tackles. I guess Pro Football Focus said there were 15 quarterback hurries in the game. I'm struggling to pick out that many. I mean, I thought I could count on one hand how many there were, but you had no sacks. I mean, they did a good job of getting the ball out real quick and getting it upfield. And I guess it was a bend but don't break kind of defensive effort on the day. Mm-hmm. Offensively, I liked what I saw. The two interceptions though out of Tanner Mordecai, one I think he was just trying to force a play, and the other looks like maybe a play broke down, and rather than get rid of it, he threw it right to where a Buffalo defender was. So there's mistakes that can be corrected, but it was more of a sloppy win than really a bad day. If you can put up 38 points in a sloppy game, you're doing okay.
And that's kind of what Luke Fickell had said yesterday in his press conference. The quote was, I think after the game, I probably wasn't as fired up as maybe I needed to be, because winning is not easy. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Deep down inside, I just felt like we were sloppy. And it kind of sounds like you agree with him.
Yeah, and it was one of those even after the game. I mean, like walking out of the stadium, nobody was like, "Yeah, all right, what a win!" Or it was more or less like you're walking out, and maybe it was the fact that you were zapped by the hottest game in Camp Randall history, but it was more like, "Yeah, okay, we won."
Yeah.
So I mean, the attitude itself, and maybe it was also zapped by the fact that nobody had a good time apparently. But I guess some people who have and have texted in about it. But yeah, overall, the day just seemed blah, and that's a little weird for a home opener.
Right. Speaking of Luke Fickell's presser, I mean, it was he had some clips yesterday. He seemed a little fired up on some things, including Michael Mack, the Air Force transfer. In case anybody missed what he said, so he was denied eligibility, but the Badgers are appealing it. But Luke Fickell saying, I'm going to kind of hold my tongue to say anything about the Air Force Academy and how they've treated the kid. In my opinion, at some point in time, I will say how I feel he's been treated by where he went to school. I mean, it sounds like Luke Fickell is kind of calling out the Air Force Academy, isn't he?
Yeah, it did seem like he's got some things to say, and we'll see how that goes. But it's yeah, and I think maybe that day will come when we find out who, when, what, where, why, if he gets to play, because it sounds like they're not done trying to appeal it.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's a little interesting that you don't see too often how many in the transfer portal call out the place that they're coming from, but it does seem whether they released their info a little too late to have him actually go play somewhere or whatever's happening there. But yeah, little odd interjection into the press conference there.
Yeah, definitely. So now we got, looking ahead to week 2. And I know a lot of Badgers fans, RJ, are thinking about what happened last year when Washington State came into Wisconsin and, kind of maybe a little bit more nervous about this game because of what they saw last year. But, I guess on the glass half full approach from my point of view, RJ, is like, one, it's a completely different staff. You got some new players in that weren't part of this team, but yet you still got some players who were a part of that team and maybe don't want to go through that again last year. What's your feeling like heading over to Washington State for week 2? Where's your confidence level? What do the Badgers have to do to come away with a victory against them?
Well, in looking at last year, the defense kept them in the game, right? You as a team only gave up 253 yards, or it was under something like that last year, and only gave up 17 points. Your offense is what was the issue, and that even seems weird because you outgained them. It was just overall, it was the first sign that something wasn't right with the program. And we've talked about it before. It was the game where Keanu Benton said he went up and got in the faces of the offense, and they just looked right through him like, okay, whatever. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But, I mean, I just talked about the defense giving up chunks of yards to Buffalo. And you have a guy like Cam Ward who this past game put up 450 yards against Colorado State. I don't know much about Colorado State in terms of their defense and what they were returning, but it was one of those where those are some eye-popping numbers. But then again, Cam Ward and then the backup quarterback were your two leading rushers in that game. So I don't know if they have totally flipped and now kind of abandoned the running game, or if that's just what Colorado State was giving them. But yeah, it's one of those as you move on now. The win you had isn't exactly one you look at and say, ooh, that's a confidence builder, going up against the team who came in here and really kept you for a good majority of the day at Camp Randall. if you do not have revenge on your mind, and you were a part of this team last year, you are a part of the problem. But I would hope to a man, like they wanna get out there and get some frustration out on a team that really was the first step into their head coach getting fired last year.
I feel like this game too is almost, and what happened with Buffalo, it's that old, you hear coaches say it all the time. Well, there's always, even after a win, there's something to improve on. And it sure kind of seems, we hear that from coaches or even players kind of chuckle about it. Yes, they beat Buffalo, but there was obviously a lot of stuff to improve on. Now you're going up against Washington State, a team that came to your house last year and upset you. I don't know. I'm feeling confident about the game, RJ. I feel like the Badgers are going to win this game.
It seems like a lot of people are. Wisconsin, depending on where you looked, opened at a 3-point favorite. They've already now jumped in the one day into Monday. They were started Monday at a 4.5-point favorite and are now at a 6.5. So if you don't want that to get out of hand and you think they can win by a touchdown or more, probably want to pick up on that right now. Not saying to do it, not saying don't do it, but if you feel confident enough that they're going to win by a touchdown or more, pick it up right now. So it does seem people are on that side of things, but I mean, you see, and really because of the weekend, I haven't done my research yet. So I'm not sure what Colorado State actually was and is this year in that game, but I mean, offensively, they passed for over 300 yards against Washington State, only ran for 37. And I know last year we saw Washington State pack the box against us, and Wisconsin still had a decent day on the ground then. I don't think it was a collectively good game on the ground because I don't think anybody went for over 100 that game. But it was still one of those. You had Graham Mertz pass for almost 230 yards. And the real thing here is maybe we see a different style of defense, and maybe this kind of sitting back in his zone style in the dollar package was more of a we're not putting anything on tape for Washington State, because Washington State is much more of a pass first team. So hopefully you can get, a little more pressure or some takeaways on there. But I mean, we do know that Cam Ward is able to run. Now last year, Wisconsin held him in check. We kind of can say though, we don't kind of say it. It absolutely is a totally different defensive staff, a totally different defensive philosophy. And it's one of those, if the defense kind of puts up the same kind of performance of missing tackles and biting on certain routes, it could be a not good scenario there. But luckily enough, from what you saw, at least in terms of in terms of the offense that Colorado State put up, I mean, they put up 21 points in the fourth quarter. I'm not sure if they had all their starters still in or what, but it still was a game that they put up quite a bit of offense in and almost put up 400 yards on them. So it'll be interesting to see that matchup, because quite frankly, it's one of those, I think, as fans on our side of the ball, we have a little more that we desire to see, because it was a good it was a sloppy win, but you still put up 38. What can you do in a game where execution looks much better than what we saw?
RJ, before I ask you for your prediction, just a couple more things here. Obviously we had Duke upsetting Clemson, Florida State taking it to LSU, but story of the weekend is it got to be Dion in Colorado going to TCU and picking up that W over there?
There's that. There's LSU being overrated again. There is Duke last night, an unranked ACC opponent, beating up on Clemson. But yeah, I mean, and that's another one where TCU lost their offensive coordinator, starting quarterback, starting running back, a couple of receivers. And I think people just assumed because Dion is basically starting from scratch, they wouldn't be ready to play. But I think we clearly now see the offense, the staff that he's put together there. He's the CEO head coach. He's there to be the hype man. He's there to be the mouth, so the kids don't have to be. He's there to put everything on him to let his offensive and defensive coordinator do their own thing. Offensive coordinator Sean Lewis, former Wisconsin Badger, was head coach at Kent State before making the jump to Colorado. So good on them for putting up an amazing amount of points there. Yeah. But it's one of those that game, I think, opened some eyes. So it'll be interesting to see what they do against Nebraska this week. They're a 3-point favorite heading into that one. I wouldn't put it past Colorado being 2-0 heading in after that rivalry game. So it was a good weekend of college football. You had a lot of teams on upset alert this week, and whether people like it or not, I mean, Baylor lost to Texas State. Illinois had a last-second field goal to win. Purdue lost. I think Northwestern has a good shot of going 0-12 this year. You run down the gamut of games, and there was entertaining games throughout the entire weekend, starting on Thursday. So, it's college football season again, and it's looking like NIL is creating more parity. And you know what? It's not a bad thing, folks.
Yeah. All right. One more question before I get to your prediction. I know it was a few days ago, but I wanted to ask you this. Nebraska volleyball, what they did last week, 92,000 in that stadium. Do you think Camp Randall could ever do something like that? Just knowing, with Sheffield and what he's doing with the program, and obviously, Nebraska Big Ten, but do you think Camp Randall could do something like Nebraska did for volleyball last week?
Could certainly try. I mean, you look at the amount of fans that went out for when they beat Nebraska's record at for indoor, where practically sold out the Kohl Center and had the biggest there. I'm not sure seating capacity once you put stands on the field, what you can expand Camp Randall to, but I think there's enough people around here across this state who, just like football, will say, "Oh, how's that welcome been to the Big Ten? We've lost to you once or twice, I think, maybe twice, and we're not going to let you have this record if it's going to be up there." I think it could happen, but it's one of those. If you fall short, it turns into a okay. And you get made fun of, but then you can just be like, "Oh, well, we're better than you on the court." So, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was awesome. I would love to see. I got to give Nebraska kudos. That was a job well done, what they did.
It was an actual sellout too. It wasn't like those boosters buy tickets and there's big empty sections.
Right. Yeah. It was a really cool thing. And I hope that even if, teams can't break it, but if you see maybe other programs kind of open the door for big time, matches like that, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only from the propping up of women's sports, just if you can add another moneymaker to your athletic department, that's just awesome, no matter what sport it is. And the way Wisconsin is going right now, why not have them try to do something like that? I mean, currently undefeated, number one team in the country, had another scare, but then came back and was up 2-0, down tied 2-2 versus Tennessee this weekend, and then took the fifth and final set to remain undefeated. So yeah, it's a time to be a volleyball fan.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, RJ, before I let you go, prediction time. What do you got for the Badgers this weekend going up against Washington State?
I honestly have no clue. Like I said, I might text you like later in the week and be like, hey, guess what? I actually paid attention to some stuff rather than looking at box scores. But
we'll do two predictions then. We'll do two of them.
I do like Wisconsin, like you, but I think it'll be another close game like it was last year. I know Washington State still has the ability to put up points, but hopefully we see a rebound from the defense and maybe actually wrapping up and stuff, because that's what got them against that's what got them 2 touchdowns against Washington State too, the inability to tackle. So if that can adjust itself, I think Wisconsin should be able to put points up on Washington State. Said that last year though. So let's see. Let's try 35-21.
Okay. 14-point victory. All right. I like it, man.
And even though I'd say I'm not sure I like the 6.5, there I put out a 14-point win.
Garbage touchdown. We'll just call it a garbage touchdown at the end.
Yeah, there you go.
RJ, appreciate the time as always, buddy. You have a good rest of your week, and hey, we'll catch up a little bit later on. Okay, sir?
Sounds good. We will talk to you later.
You got it. RJ Cardinal joining us here this morning. We got to take our final break, and we will be back in just a few minutes to wrap up this Tuesday morning. Stay around.
You're listening to the Dan Kasper Show.
Picture this. You're surrounded by the serene beauty of the great outdoors, waiting patiently for your moment. It's not just a hobby, it's a passion. We're talking hunting. At Tilden Gun, they understand the thrill and excitement that comes with hunting, whether it's for deer, turkey, or duck. That's why they offer a wide range of high-quality firearms, ammunition, and accessories to help you make the most of your hunting experience. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned hunter, Tilden Gun will help you find the perfect firearm that suits your needs and preferences. But it's not just about the hunt. It's about the memories, the camaraderie, and the bond with nature. Tilden Gun is proud to be a part of your hunting journey, ensuring that you have the tools and equipment you need to make unforgettable memories in the great outdoors. Visit Tilden Gun in store at 12427 90th Avenue in Chippewa Falls or online at tildengun.com to explore their wide selection of firearms, ammunition, scopes, and hunting accessories. Be safe and best of luck in the great outdoors.
Don't wait. Save smarter with a 5.30% annual percentage yield 11-month certificate from Royal Credit Union. Royal's 5.30% 11-month certificate has no minimum opening balance and a locked-in rate for a guaranteed return on your investment. Open a 5.30% 11-month certificate at any Royal office or online at rcu.org/certificate 530. Early withdrawal penalties could reduce earnings and principal. APY accurate as of 8/21/23. Insured by NCUA.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
NFL opening night is coming, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is hooking new customers up with a can't-miss offer. Place your first $5 NFL bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code Patrick, get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's code Patrick, only on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit cc ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Innovation Refunds has been helping small businesses that qualify to get a business payroll tax refund through the Employee Retention Credit, also known as the ERC. The ERC is a tax refund for businesses that kept employees on payroll for parts of 2020 and 2021. If you own a business with more than 5 employees, you could have money waiting to be claimed. Innovation Refunds earn the highly coveted SOC 2 certification. Why? Your company and employee information is serious stuff. The SOC 2 certification is a compliance standard developed by the American Institute of CPAs. And what it does, it specifies how trusted organizations should manage customer data in the areas of security, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy. Innovation Refunds doesn't provide tax or legal advice. Go to Innovation Refunds. They don't get paid unless you get paid. No upfront charge. 1-843-REFUNDS. 1-843-REFUNDS or innovationrefunds.com.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone a Maryland battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. Without this, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a censor button. My password to my bank account is Ty's cool password 1. Uh-oh. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for checking out our live stream on YouTube and Facebook. And thanks for not mentioning that spot on Dan's shirt.
Barbecue stain on my white t-shirt.
I guess that's why he never wears white.
You can't handle the truth.
The Dan Kasper Show.
Wake up and smell the magic that is Cabin Coffee in Altoona. From the moment you step in, you are embraced by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the warmth of community. Their skilled baristas handcraft each cup with love, ensuring every sip is an experience worth savoring. Even if you're not a coffee person, though, they've got something for everyone. Embrace the comfort of a cabin getaway right at your favorite coffee shop. Visit Cabin Coffee today at 2922 Meadowlark Lane in Altoona. Elevate your coffee experience at Cabin Coffee because life is too short for ordinary brews. All right. We only got a few minutes to the top of the hour here. Reminder, Brewers taking on the Pirates. Game 2 tonight. First pitch slated to start at 5:35. You can listen to that game on 105.1 FM and 790 AM. Brandon Woodruff on the mound for the Crew. Tomorrow's game, first pitch at 11:35. Getaway day there. Freddie Peralta going to get to start for the Brewers tomorrow. This is the final 2 games here that the Brewers and Pirates will face each other this season. Already wrapping up the regular season here. 25 more games left to go here for the Brew Crew. Still up 2.5 games on the Cubs for first place. Up 5.5 over the Cincinnati Reds, but the Cubs are in the wild card hunt. They're, I think, in the second spot right now, and then Cincinnati right on that edge. It's a thin line right now, but they're in the hunt too for a wild card spot. So, other stuff on the docket here, or I should say, recapping here. Talked a lot of Badger stuff, obviously, with RJ Cardinal just now. We'll talk more Badgers throughout the week leading up to Game 2 against Washington State here. Also, Packers are going to be kicking off their season this Sunday. So we'll have a preview topic every day leading up to that. We touched on Jordan Love quite a bit today. So we'll hit up on some other items later on in the week. Don't forget, though, too, to sign up for our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge. Available at our website, sportstalk1051.com. Just click on the Win tab there. Takes you a few seconds, and it's free to join. You can win some prizes, including gift card from Shields up there. But we all know that you just want the bragging rights mostly up there, too. So I made my picks already this morning for Week 1. Don't forget to make your picks over there, too. Coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll do some stock reports. So whose stock is rising and whose stock is falling. Tell you one, that might be a good pick. The stock was probably already pretty high, but it continues to rise as Twins rookie Royce Lewis hitting another grand slam, his third grand slam in 8 games. Man. But I want you guys to play along with us when we do our stock reports tomorrow. So think about it here for a little bit. Okay. Got the whole day to think about whose stock is rising, whose stock is falling. Let us know tomorrow when we hit that up. We'll talk some more green and gold leading up to kickoff on Sunday. Plus, we'll recap Brewers game against the Pirates. Hopefully it's a win for the Brew Crew. Preview the final game leading up to that tomorrow too. Also, a quick reminder too, this Thursday night, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., we'll be hanging out at Hy-Vee doing a live kickoff show. So if you want to stop by, maybe grab some wings, grab some Man Cave Light on tap at the bar over there from Wahlburgers there. Hang out with us as we talk a little football leading up to the season, a little kickoff special ahead of the first game of the night, Detroit taking on Kansas City to open up the season. So we'll get some more predictions. I know Friday we'll kind of do mostly our, season predictions and, division predictions, playoff picks and Super Bowl picks and that too. So think about that for a little bit. Okay. Think about that for a little bit. Who are you going to have in your Super Bowl? Do you think Green Bay makes the playoffs this year? Got a couple days yet, just giving you a heads up so you can give us your picks coming up on Friday. All right. So I'll tell you what, right now, I'm still kind of going back and forth on some of mine. I'm still going back. I've been reading a lot of these picks. I know Peter King, our good friend Peter King, Football Morning America, he does have Green Bay going to the postseason, and he does have Green Bay winning 10 games this year. So, all right, you got one. You got one out there. That might be my first pick from a national football person where the Packers are going to win 10 games. That might be the first one I've seen. Just trying to think off the top of my head here, but yeah, he's got Green Bay as the 7th seed. The last wild card team, Lions. It actually has the Lions winning the Division 2, but with the same record as the Packers, 10-7. 10-7. So his Super Bowl winner, he's got Philly over Buffalo. Philly over Buffalo in the Super Bowl. So, but think about yours for a little bit. We got a couple days here. Maybe don't overthink it, but we'll get to the season predictions coming up on Friday for our Football Friday. Actually, I might even tease it a little bit Thursday night too for our kickoff special. So if you want to get the first early glimpses there, that'll be Thursday night there. So, all right, shot clock's going to cut me off here in just a few seconds. First day of school for a lot of the kiddos there, too. I know some started late last week. Some are starting up today. Best of luck to all the kiddos. You're already in school, so you can't hear it, but best of luck on another school year here. My little guy's starting first grade today, so once you put those numbers in front of the grade, now it just almost feels like a countdown. DP and the Danettes, they're up next. Have yourself a good Tuesday. We'll be back at it again tomorrow morning, just past 6 a.m. Talk to you then.